is like Longmont Potion Castle, but I kind of
It's
like
funny.
I
Nobody
recorded
cares,
them
but
this
everyone
morning,
was
put it
here.
all over my YouTube,
What's
and
the
And they're
nigga
still here.
improvement?
it's not that funny. The more ridiculous the person, the funnier it is. Like that crazy Irish girl screaming. T Rabs is also a good crazy person. Pepe is a good crazy person. Even El Normo is a good. Like all these people are good people to record for comedy's sake, and Longmont Potion Castle them. And also the comments in YouTube are hilarious because people are upset that I'm putting Longmont Potion Castle in the titles,
The juice
and
group
they're
on
all
music
upset
is
because
about the content. It's about the fucking promotion.
they want to hear the prank calls. But what I did is I ordered the Longmont Potion Castle 4K CD.
Bro, anybody can
And
miss something
so
on
what I'm
fucking
gonna do is I'm
iTunes,
gonna
like,
just
or,
like
yeah,
live
it's
stream
not
all the
complicated.
Longmont Potion Castle
The
prank
problem is,
calls
can you
and
promote
like
it?
use that on my
It
YouTube.
means, do
Basically,
they
can
own
make
the fucking
copyright
TV
violation.
shows?
It'd be funny.
And the stations that have the TV shows to get the artists in front to get interviewed to gain appeal, and do they manufacture the stardom, right, by like having other credible, people, sources that are all on board, talk about and hang out with and invite them to the parties and whatever, get them to be known and seen. It's entirely contrived. They promote fake ugly bitches with bad messages because it will hurt the goyim.
Nobody gives two shits.
Nigga, Snow White has a hairy back. That's all you need to know. Okay?
So don't we call her Snow Brown?
Maybe.
My God, what a waste.
Yeah, but actually that's the least amount of hair Randy's ever seen on a fucking woman these days.
I want Randy. Like a boy's trying to get nigga girl cash in cool town.
But then again, when they're wearing so many clothes, you can't even tell how hairy they are, Randy. Isn't that right?
What? I have no clue what you're saying.
Which is wearing a hijab, you can't tell how hairy she is, bro.
Okay. Tell that to Nora.
What do you mean? We know how fluffy
Bro, she's the least clothed Muslim woman on this app.
Oh,
actually, to tell you the truth, Buddha, I didn't even know that about you. I actually thought you had straight hair.
You
knew my hair was curly.
No.
What do you mean? You saw it wet.
No. I saw it straight.
Yeah, I straightened it. Remember? I also washed it.
Yeah.
I love how this is all just out in the open now, but anyway. Amazing.
But yeah, it was, okay, when you have curly hair, your curls vary. Like right now,
That's
my
right,
hair is
boo-boo.
curly.
That's right, boo boo.
And it was raining that day, too.
That's right.
Terrible. The humidity's terrible.
Rambles, and would you go out with me in Glasgow? Would you go for a drink in Glasgow?
Nigga, I'm never going out with a fucking drink with you, a fucking Jew.
Okay, so that's what's up.
Motherfucking. Stop acting like a fucking Jew.
Well, stop acting like a fucking white cuck.
Well, what's up? If I'm a white cuck, then why is it that you want to go out and take me out for a fucking beer and steak, then, nigga?
Because I love cucks.
That's right. But you know that I ain't got no fucking woman for you to cut.
But one day you will.
That's right, nigga. He has faith. Listen, he's farming right now. He's a fucking farmer now.
Yeah, I'm ready to do it, nigga.
Nigger, Jews don't farm, bitch.
Yeah, they do.
Don't they don't?
Yeah, they do.
Name a famous fucking Jew farmer. Amazing. I'll wait.
A Jewish, okay, Ben Bernanke.
A farmer?
Yeah, Janet Yellen.
Yeah. Oh, the tax farm.
So can you tell this nigga about the tax farm? He doesn't seem to understand.
Yeah, the tax farm. I knew he was the tax farm.
This nigga doesn't seem to understand the tax farm.
That's right.
You're living on it, Tim.
That's right. Well, Rodney, why is it that you want to fuck with cattle then?
He's a Middle Easterner, bro.
Well,
No, actually,
that's right.
In the Torah, it says that you can't fuck animals. We don't do that. That's the Muslims.
Bro. Well, if this is a farm, then what the fuck do you want to put your dick in all that?
In Islam, you can fuck an animal as long as you wash your dick. It's okay. You can fuck a dead body. You can fuck all these things. Like we don't do. I can give you the sources if you'd like. I mean, but we don't do that. In the Torah, it's very clear that you cannot.
Torah? The Torah?
Yeah, you can fuck animals. If you fuck animals, you and the animal could be put together.
The Torah? What's the Talmud say?
Whereas the Muslim niggers, they fuck everything.
What's the Talmud say? Bro, fucking help me write the Talmud in reverse.
I am.
That's right. You see, everything they say about the Gentiles and the Goyim, we just say it about the Jews.
I'm contributing to the Talmud.
That's because you're a fucking faggot, son.
No, I think as a rabbi, I would like my thoughts to be heard.
I literally just want to write whatever they write, but in reverse about them. And then see it labeled as hate speech. And then people on Twitter can do community notes and say, no, this is actually satire of the Talmud.
Yeah, but...
Okay, what's a good satirical name for the Talmud?
This nigger simply does not get it.
No, it has to be something.
What's it that simple? He doesn't get it.
Need a catchy name. Called branding and marketing, nigga. Not that you know about those things.
Let me show you this. Let me show you this.
No, I'm gonna go.
To Diego. There you go, Diego.
I'm about to eat. I'll be about 30 minutes.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I sent it to Diego so that he may be able to see it.
What am I looking for here?
So that he may see.
Just read it.
Whoever has sexual intercourse with an animal or a woman, dead or alive, without the vulva or a slave girl, he shall own some of them, or his sister who is owned by him. Or he has sexual intercourse with his wife during menstruation or anus, or he masturbates with his hand, or you are the woman. There is no punishment for him, and he is excused. What is this? What am I reading?
This is Islam. So, if you didn't know this, in the Torah, Moshe Rabbeinu gives you the laws of sexual immorality, and Muhammad broke all of them basically. So here, they're telling you that you can have sex with an animal, a woman, if she's dead or alive, without the vulva, meaning like she's been circumcised, or if she's a slave girl, if you own her partially or fully, or even if she's your sister, or he has intercourse with a woman on her period or anal, or he masturbates with his hand even, or even if you are the woman having sex with a woman.
Nuda, does it ever occur to you that maybe this is something you should leave in your past and just say, you know what, I renounce it?
No,
She's casting it.
because in Arabic I gave it to you. It's, if you go check in Arabic, the other one. It's also translated for you.
It does appear to be translated.
Diego, he said something about a sister. You can't marry or have sex with your sister. Yes.
But you can't have sex with. Yes, you can. According to, I'll send it to you if you want.
Okay,
I'm sure there are true believers that do believe that passage.
That's not in the Quran.
Nuda, let's just assume
No,
sister means something else. Like maybe. Like, for example, in the Bible, sister brides of Jesus didn't mean he was married, or that he had sisters.
I'll read it to her in Arabic, okay, so that it doesn't have any.
Thank you.
Wait. Where are you reading?
Hold on, he's gonna read it. Let him read it.
ومن وطئ بهيمة أو امرأة ميتة أو حية فيما دون الفرج, that means under the, like, that's anal basically.
Jesus.
أو جارية يملك بعضها أو أخته المملوكة له. His sister who is owned by him. أو وطأ زوجته في الحيض أو الدبر, which is anal, أو استمنى بيده, masturbates, or أتت الامرأة المرأة, which means it's a woman on a woman, لا حد عليه ويعزر. That means he is excusable. There is no penalty for him, and he should be excused. It's okay to do these things if you wash your penis afterwards.
So where are you getting this from?
This is the reliance of the traveler. That's what it's called. Umdat as-Salik.
I don't know anything.
Nuda, you can't find writings like this from Christians. It doesn't
It's called
exist.
عمدة السالك by Ahmed ibn Naqib al-Masri. You can check it.
Yeah, just this isn't an authority.
Yes, it is. For Sunnis, yes, it is.
Have
عمدة
to see an
السالك.
authority.
Google عملة before you deny it. Google عمدة السالك, nigger. It says even حد الزنا واللواط. The punishment for fornication and faggotry. حد الزنا واللواط. There you go. The legal penalty is obligatorily imposed upon anyone who fornicates or commits sodomy, provided it is legally established, and when they have reached puberty. So that is similar to the Yiddishkites. You can fuck a little boy, or if you are a little boy, you can fuck a boy.
No, this is horrible.
This is Islam.
Yeah, so Islam is not these things.
Yeah, okay, you're a nigger.
Nura, why do you say it's not these things?
It is.
Because anything that is counter to justice or human dignity is opposite of what God is.
Okay, wait a second, Randy. What is your retort to
Even
that?
Muhammad did them. Because Muhammad literally fucked his dead aunt, and he literally let someone fuck his dead daughter, Fatima.
That's not true.
Yes, it is
Okay,
true.
prove it. By what do you make that claim, Randy?
Oh my God, do I have to do your research for you?
So Fatima,
How about you Google it? Muhammad fucks his dead aunt. How about you do that?
Randy, please.
He made a claim. He made a claim.
Yes, I
And
know.
the claim
That's
is-
where I'm from.
Allah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm literally walking into a truck.
Доброе утро.
Don't get
It's
triggered
not
now,
my
Nura.
fault if you don't know your hadiths.
Yes, very nice.
Yeah, I'm not. No, he said that Muhammad let somebody F his dead daughter.
Yes, and his name is Abu Talha. I'm even giving you his name. His name is Abu Talha.
Which daughter? Which daughter?
Fatima.
Okay, Fatima died 6 months after he died.
Is that true?
Fatima.
Yes.
Let's check.
You're
Yes.
an OnlyFans.
Fatima died 6 months after the Prophet Muhammad died.
Let's check.
She was so, and to this day they don't know where she's buried.
Randy, you got some explaining to do.
Let's check which daughter.
Diego, you know how sometimes he says things to you that you know are outrageous and you just like let it be?
No,
No,
Same
wait,
thing.
Nura.
No, okay, but hold on. Now, if you're gonna make me go check it, I will put the post, and don't run away from it like you always do. Don't always run away from it, okay?
Come on, Nura, let's face this up front and just be done with this religion, or
Yeah,
embrace the
because
religion once and
always
for
run
all.
away from it. You always run away. So let's do it. If you want to do it, let's do it.
It's time, Nura. Like, we've been tap dancing around this for years.
Years?
How many rooms have I been in where they say the Aisha thing a million times? You know it, and I know it.
Yeah, but Aisha was an adult by all standards.
Yeah, okay. Okay. Well, the story basically with Princess, yeah, this is exactly how it went. She doesn't know what's in her religion. I tell her what's in it. She denies it. I give her the source. She doesn't want to read it. And that's like just what it is.
Okay, but like you
If I give you the source, will you be the one who reads it out loud to prove that you actually read it?
Okay, listen.
But it's a yes or no question.
Yeah, sure. However,
Okay.
No,
it's
however.
about the credibility of the source.
Oh, the credibility of the source. So
Yeah.
are you now going to move on to claim that you can deny what's in Sahih Muslim and Sahih Bukhari as a Sunni Muslim? Are you going to try to make that claim?
So when it comes to hadith, I listen to the scholars.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That's retarded.
Wait,
I'm sorry.
why is it retarded? Explain to me.
Yeah,
I'm out of my
because
element here.
So, because maybe you American schmucks don't know, but every Muslim knows that a Sunni Muslim cannot deny what's in Sahih.
Are you being disingenuous, Nura?
Sahih in Arabic means correct, nigger. Don't lie.
So Sahih
You can't deny what's in Sahih
So
Bukhari.
Diego, Muslim and Bukhari are men. They collected hadith. They went and they lived at a certain time. They collected narrations. They tried to verify narrations, etc. And I'm not well versed in hadith, and I respect the sciences of hadith, and I listen to my scholars that I trust when it comes to hadith.
There's no sciences in your hadith, and there's not a single Sunni scholar who would say Bukhari is not something we go with. You cannot go against it. It's called Sahih. It's called Sahih. It's not Da'if.
Okay, but Randy, think about it from my perspective. How can I, when you make a claim like you can't deny this, how can I verify that? Me.
You as in what?
As in, a non-Muslim have no idea what the hell you're talking about. How do I?
Well,
So
when I
can I
learn
gi-
about
can I
Islam,
give
I
you an
learn about
example,
Islam from
Rabbi?
Muslim sources. I don't learn about Islam from non-Muslim sources.
You
You learn about Islam
you
from
have to have a
Muslim sources.
teacher.
Now the
You have to
Muslims,
have a teacher.
my God. Now the Muslims
Schools
are
of
Shiites or
thought,
Sunnis, and they each go by different hadiths. It doesn't matter which hadith they go
That's
by,
for
it will tell you the same
jurisprudence
thing.
and stuff.
Okay, I'm just telling you exactly as it is. You can't say this is sahih and then say, oh no, we don't
So,
accept it.
As
Then the
like
question would be,
Muslim-
what do you accept? How? What's the criteria upon which you accept or reject certain things within a sahih? Then go ahead.
So, for example, in Surah Al-Shara, ألم نشرح لك صدرك ووضعنا عنك وزرك الذي أنقض ظهرك ورفعنا لك
Yeah,
ذكرك.
then she goes to
Wait,
Wizard.
hold on.
But I understand what
Okay.
you're saying. I speak
Okay,
Arabic.
so in this surah, I won't finish it then. In this surah, in the Quran, the beginning verses, ألم نشرح لك صدرك. Well, dogmatically, we were taught as children that I'm sure it's in Bukhari and Muslim that it was in relation to the Prophet's chest being opened and his heart being cleansed. Well, when I listened to the commentary of this surah by the sheikh that I respect, the teacher that I respect, he gave his reasons why he rejects it. He rejects this hadith.
He doesn't get that's whatever he
Because of
wants.
because of the historical connections to the people that were narrating it.
Yeah, I'm
people
sorry.
study these things and they're like, there's no way.
I'm sorry,
this
that's just not how it works. And by the way, it's very clear. شرحنا صدرك. It's very clear what it says. So yeah, the prayers you listen to and respect doesn't mean shirk because he's going against all things that are sahih. Things Sunni Muslims cannot go against. So I don't know your sheikh what kind of Muslim he is.
You can look him up. He's not my sheikh anymore, but I really still respect him.
Okay, see, but that is, and you don't see how that's so irrelevant to my question, which is, what's your criteria upon which deciding what should I accept and what should I reject? How is your statement in any way relevant?
The narrators. Who are the narrators? When did they live? How did they get verified?
Based on what do you decide that? Because the whole thing. But based on what?
It's a study. It's a study that I haven't.
Yeah, I'm sorry. We're done. That's retarded.
Hold on, calm down, calm
Yeah,
down.
we're done. That's retarded.
No. Everybody calm down. We're still moving forward.
No, we're done. That's retarded. I'm not interested. That's stupid.
No,
yeah. There's sahih, different sahih. Some of them da'if means weak. Some of them sahih means.
So what does weak mean? What does weak mean and why is it compiled?
A Muslim, Sunni Muslim, cannot disagree with sahih. Now she would say that there's the grading system, but the grading system is what determined that this is sahih. So if you're gonna be cherry picking what's in Bukhari, then that is why I asked you this question. Based on what do you cherry pick? What are the criteria that you use
cherry pick.
in order to
No cherry picking. No cherry
what do
picking.
you accept and what you
You're
don't
cherry picking.
Randy, can you accept, though, that they do debate on the interpretation and the context and such of certain hadiths, even if they are overall accepted by, say, all Sunnis? That you still debate them and the interpretation of them?
Give her that, Randy. Give her that.
And that's what
No,
Nora is
reasonable
saying. She's saying the teacher she follows, the
That's not
same
what
as
I'm saying.
following a priest or a pastor,
That's
has
not
given
what
her
she's
a
saying.
different interpretation.
I'm sorry, that is not what she's
And,
saying.
and you don't just
Arabic?
become
No.
a sheikh overnight.
That's
You have
not
to go
what
to
she's
schooling
saying.
and such to be able to do
Okay,
that.
and I'm
Use
telling
him as an authoritative figure
I'm
to give
telling
her
you
the
that is
interpretation.
not what she's saying. If you speak Arabic, you would easily
Well, I heard her
understand
say it
that.
in English, so.
Yeah.
Well, she can say whatever she
Arabic-
wants. It's so irrelevant to my point. Based on what you
I'm
say
not-
that you go by some sheikh.
Smoke another cigarette.
It's so irrelevant to my question regarding based on what do you accept and reject certain things within a sahih. Totally two different things.
Okay.
So
okay,
irrelevant.
so-
I don't care. I don't want to listen to you. Boring. Irrelevant. That's what
Wow,
I'm
that was so gay.
She didn't reject it. She said that she
Okay,
was
so I'm
taught
telling
a
you,
different
based on what?
interpretation, Randy.
There's not much leeway when it comes to interpretation. These things are very clear. You would know if you spoke Arabic. So the
Well,
question
Randy,
is,
but do
based on what do you
scholars not
accept and
debate the interpretation and
Melissa,
context of
he didn't
individual
even
hadiths?
cite from Sahih.
motherfucker, the scholars can eat my ass.
Yeah.
If you can't answer, Diego, that means yes, they do.
No, they don't,
Yes,
because
they
there's not much
do.
leeway. No, they don't.
They
There's not
argue
much
about
leeway.
this stuff all the time.
No, they
Randy.
don't.
You
There's
know
not much
this.
leeway. Well, I'm sorry, Melissa. When did you learn Arabic? I'm sorry.
You don't have to learn
Randy.
Arabic to know this, Randy. It's,
Diego,
you can
you're a
simply
reader.
search it, Randy.
Yeah, I'm sorry. sorry.
This isn't secret
so stupid.
information. You can only speak Arabic to know.
Oh, really? So do they debate whether or not Aisha was sex?
The different between Sunnis and Shias,
They do. They
No,
do.
but we're not talking between
Sunnis
Sunnis and
cannot
Shia.
believe
Oh, see, and there you go, Melissa.
They
That's
even
what happens
debate
when you just
hadith.
go
They
with
even
whatever Muslims
debate
tell
No,
you.
Sunnis,
Sunnis.
Sunnis
Yeah,
and
we're
Shias
talking about Sunnis,
differentiate on
but
this.
she's a Sunni,
Shias
so we're
believe
talking
she
about
was
Sunni.
18 or 19.
Right, I
They
understand.
believe she was an adult.
But she's a Sunni, so we're talking about Sunnis. We're not talking about the difference
The
between
point
Shia
is
and
there is
Sunnis.
debate even among Muslims about her age.
Yeah, but that's between Shiites and
Shia
Sunnis,
sources
and
as
by
well.
the way, it's such a cope.
It's
The
not a
Shiites
cope. That
cannot
means
really-
that they're
Yes, it
not
is.
all aligned on every hadith. They don't even
No,
all
but they
accept
have
the
to
same
be.
hadith.
No, but they have to be. When it comes to Aisha, it's so easy
I
to prove
get
how the
it.
Shiites
It's
are wrong.
because you're
Regardless,
so
we're not talking about Shiites Sunnis. We're talking about Sunnis since she's one. Stop
Okay,
deflecting.
even I'm not.
No.
You're the one that brought up Aisha trying to deflect. The point
White
is
nigger, white
they,
nigger.
even among
White
Sunnis
nigger.
or even among
Hello,
Shias,
white
the
nigger.
hadiths that they
It's okay,
have,
Hello.
Melissa. It's okay, Melissa.
Hello.
debate the
Hello?
interpretations of them.
Hello.
They disagree
I'm gonna
on the
pick Mama
interpretations
Jazzy.
of them.
I'm gonna ping in Mama Jazzy. This is
It's
where
okay
we're
to do
at.
that, but you're the one deflecting.
Oh, so stupid. Okay, Sunnis. So, Princessia, how do you decide what
Wait,
you
you didn't
accept
wanna
and what
talk
you
to me.
reject? Yeah,
My
Habibi.
criterion is the Quran.
But you can't you can't use the Quran to
Yes, it
accept
is.
and reject certain things in a
Yes,
document
it is.
that is there to explain the Quran to you.
My
since
criterion is the
from
Quran.
the
God is
get go,
just.
my
That
Habibi,
which
from
is
the
not
get go.
just.
Okay, you don't see how that's a retarded statement and there's circular reasoning going on.
That's fine. I remember I'm a.
Right. So I need A because I can't understand B. However, I'm gonna use A to reject or accept B. Sorry. I need A because I can't understand B, but I'm gonna use B to accept or reject A. You don't see how that's retarded.
My religion is my path, like my way, my life. It's like you're welcome to share.
Motherfucker, shove your way up your ass. Shove your way up your ass. Because again, you have your path. Now why should I take your path?
You don't need to.
Yeah, but why should I? If I want to. Now why would I want to?
I mean,
I just want to understand how your brain works. Like I would love to also follow the steps of a pedophile and assume that he is the best of men. And I'm wondering how is it that I'll be able to do
he's
such
not a pedophile.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Usually someone who is 52 and fucks a 6-year-old by rubbing his dick gently against her thighs 2 days a day for 3 years up until she's 9 and then he fucks her. Usually we call them pedophiles. I'm sorry.
He was. He's dead now.
Right, well, he still is because he's alive in spirit. Well, he is a pedophile. So I mean, you can claim he's not a pedophile, but he is a pedophile. Unfortunately.
Listen. You said the other one was something from the Travel or something. It wasn't Muslim or Bukhari.
No, that was not from Muslim or Bukhari.
Hold on. Can you show me where the hadith is of that you just?
No, I will. No. I will show you where he's a pedophile.
Ever in my life. No, show me that.
Yeah, I will show you where he's a pedophile because you always do this.
No, I've never seen. Like you said that he's rubbed his penis.
Okay, but you always say show me the source and you never look into it. So I'm gonna show you the source for the 6th time regarding the same thing which you just denied, that him being a pedophile. I'm gonna show you the source and I'm gonna show everyone in the room how you run away from it and you don't even read it. Okay, let's do it. Yeah, you say Islam Web is a Jewish source. You say Islam Web is a Jewish source. Okay, you say Sunni.com is a Jewish source. That's what you did last time.
Okay, show me.
Yeah, I will show you, and you will run away from it again, as always.
Show me it. I want to see it.
Okay, I will show you.
Because it's counterintuitive to everything that we know about
Okay.
law.
And if you don't read them out loud, then this discussion is over.
Okay, go ahead.
Right. If you don't read it, the discussion is over because I don't have time for your ass. Alright, so let's start with this one, shall we?
Where did you post it?
I will put it in the chat, if that is okay. Actually, no, let's put it in the link above. You know what, let's put it in the chat, not a problem. Alright, this is Bukhari, which you cannot reject. So can you go ahead and open it up and read it?
Let me read it.
Read it out loud, please, to prove to the world that you read it.
I'm reading. I'm waiting for it to open. Okay,
Sunna.com. Last time she said this is a Jewish source. Go ahead.
Okay, I don't recall saying that. So narrated Aisha that the Prophet. You said about the thigh. Narrated by Aisha that the
No,
Prophet
this is not about the
married her.
thigh.
Okay, show me the thigh. That's what
No,
you
you
said.
don't decide what I show you. I'm showing you this
Okay,
for the sixth
okay,
time because
okay,
you keep running away
okay.
from it. So
No, I don't. Narrated by Aisha that the Prophet married her when she was 6 years old, and he consummated his marriage when she was 9 years old. Hisham said, I have been informed that Aisha remained with the Prophet for 9 years until his death. In other words, until his death.
Mhm.
Okay, next
Okay.
one.
Can you read the next one? So he married her when she was 6, fucked her when she was 9. This is Bukhari. You cannot reject it. Sahih. Anyways, keep going.
Okay.
Mhm.
I used to play with dolls. Narrated Aisha. You got me. I used to play with the dolls in the presence of the prophets, and my girlfriends also used to play with me. When Allah's messenger used to enter my dwelling place, they used to hide themselves, but the prophet would call them to join and play with me. The playing with dolls and similar images is forbidden, but it was allowed for Aisha at the time as she was a little girl, not yet reached the age of puberty. Okay?
Okay. So what we learned so far is that he married her at 6, fucked her at 9, and then she used to play with her dolls. And the reason why she played with, because it's not okay to play with your dolls, but she was allowed to because she did not reach puberty yet. Okay. Now read the third one.
The messenger of Allah married me when I was 6 and consummated the marriage with me when I was 9, and I used to play with dolls.
She did not reach her puberty. Okay. Can you read the one after it, please?
Okay?
So he married her at 6, and he fucked her at 9. Hold on. He married her at 6, fucked her at 9. Overall, she used to play with her dolls because she didn't reach puberty. When she reached puberty, she stopped playing with her dolls. However, now he's telling you, oh, he married me at 6, fucked me at 9, and I used to play with my dolls, meaning I didn't reach puberty yet. Okay, keep going. You have to understand, before I became a rabbi, I was a sheikh. I know the Quran almost as much as I know the Torah. Okay, keep going.
You don't have anything. It's the same link.
Keep going, nigga. Oh, okay. There you go. This is from the Quran. If you don't like hadith, well, this is from the Quran.
For your women past the age of menstruation, in case you do not know, their waiting period is 3 months, and those who have not menstruated as well. As for those who are pregnant,
so what does that mean?
their waiting period is
that's what we need.
with delivery.
We don't need more than that. That's what we need. Those who are past the age of menstruation, their period is 3 months. Period of wait is 3 months. And those who have not yet menstruated. Who are those who have not yet menstruated? This is Surah Talaq. This is the ayah for divorce.
This is an argument where I've already heard people make the claim. It doesn't, it's not a subject that matters to me. It's
it's not. Pedophilia is not a subject that matters to you because they're pedophile. Prophet is a pedophile. That's why.
Because I don't take it in the way that they're taking it.
No, it's because the best of men is a pedophile, so pedophilia is not a big deal. That's why. Because it says those who have not after menstruation, meaning those in their menopause, their waiting period is 3 months, and those who have not yet menstruated, and she actually said, it says those who have not menstruated, not yet menstruated. Although in Arabic it says, see, you're stuck with someone who speaks Arabic as a first language.
You don't understand Arabic.
It says, which means those who have not yet menstruated. Regardless, who are those? Who are the girls who have not yet menstruated?
Okay, listen. If I wanted to be a jurist...
Well, can you just answer me? Who are those girls who have not yet menstruated? Who are those?
Listen, there's people that don't...
Nigger, who are those who have not yet menstruated?
I don't know. I can't answer
you don't know who the girls are who have not yet menstruated? We don't know who those are.
Called prepubescent.
Could it be? Could it be the prepubescent? Is it? I don't know. I think Mixad is right. Who are the girls who have not yet menstruated?
Menstruation comes with puberty. If they have not menstruated yet,
which means they are before. Exactly. So this is Quran. I don't care what you say about your hadith, nigga.
You don't menstruate because you're pregnant,
just the way the
or you
words
don't menstruate because you're pregnant, or you don't menstruate because you have some kind of hormonal...
Oh, really? So those who have not yet menstruated are those who are pregnant? By the way, okay, don't play this game because in that same... Can you continue reading it? Because it does mention those who are pregnant. Clearly, this is not talking about pregnant women.
You wouldn't let me finish it.
Okay, how about you finish it now so that you see how it's not talking about pregnant women.
As for your women past the age of menstruation, in case you do not know, their waiting period is 3 months. Wait.
And
I mean,
also
it starts with past the age of menstruation, so it's conditioned on past the age of menstruation.
Okay,
So
she's stuck
anything
on that.
after that. So anything after
The
that is
prior
about somebody who's
category
already
was
menstruated.
before the age of menstruation.
Nora, everyone in the room can read it.
Identified as prepubescent.
Yeah, but it doesn't say that. It starts with it conditions it upon the women that
doesn't
past
matter.
age of menstruation.
That doesn't matter. It's telling you those who are post the age of menstruation, their period is 3 months. So is the case for those who have not yet menstruated.
Right? You see the second.
Okay, don't play dumb. Don't play dumb. I know Muslims are illiterate, but don't
It's for
play dumb.
those who are pregnant. Their waiting period ends with delivery. So it can also be like.
But hold on a second. Hold on, nigger. Hold on a second. So are you willing to admit that that was not talking about pregnant women?
It could be very well because it emphasized it.
Oh, it could be. But if it's about pregnant women, why? Okay, hold on a second. Hold on a second.
There's no.
So if it's talking about pregnant women, then how come the pregnant women have a different time?
There's no punctuation in the Quran.
Yeah, Habibi, don't play games. Play with my balls. Don't play games. So how is it those who have not yet menstruated is talking about the pregnant woman when the period is 3 months, whereas the pregnant woman that it's also talking about is until delivery? How is that?
Like, you can have this.
How is it talking about the same people when there's 2 different waiting periods?
Listen, you can hold this position.
I'm not holding a position. Your Quran is holding it.
That's fine. But for me, if I wanted to be a jurist and study
I don't believe in pedophilia.
And study it.
I don't believe in pedophilia. I'm sorry. I leave that to you, sand niggers. Now, the truth is, as despicable as the Jews are, I actually think you guys deserve what they're doing to you. Netanyahu alayhi salam. God bless his hands. May you all have everything and then nothing. Because you are the scum of the earth. Pedophile niggers. And that's my perspective. Shit.
Where does that leave us?
Nothing. It leaves you nowhere. The Sunnis cannot reject Sahih Bukhari. I gave her a million things from Sahih Bukhari, showing you that she was indeed before puberty. Oh, you didn't see one thing. Oh, boy.
You didn't do the thigh. That was the whole point of the whole thing.
No, it's not about the thigh. We can get to the thigh, nigger. We can get to the thigh. We can get to the thigh. Did you see? There's one that you skipped. Did you check Sunan Abi Dawood? You skipped it. I will read it. It's in the chat. I already put it, but you skipped it. It says, when the Messenger of Allah, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, arrived after the expedition to Tabuk and Khaybar. Remember Khaybar? Khaybar is when they massacred the Jews and he raped the Jewish woman, Safiya, after he made her watch all her family get massacred. Who is he? He is the Prophet. That's right. So Khaybar, so after the expedition to Khaybar, the drakh raised an end of a curtain which was hung in front of her storeroom, her is Aisha, revealing some dolls that belonged to her. He asked, what is this? She, Aisha, replied, my dolls. Among them, he saw a horse with wings made of rags and asked, what is this I see among them? She replied, the horse, etc., etc., etc. So during Khaybar, Aisha was 15 years old, yet she still had her dolls, proving to you that she got her period late, not like the Muslim niggers say that she got her period at 6 or 8 or 9. By the way, nutrition is horrible. Yeah, women used to get their menstruation later on. Today they get it earlier. But we know for a fact, because Aisha used to play with her dolls up until she got her period.
So
hold on, nigger. She used to play with dolls up until she got her period. When she was 15, she still used to play with dolls, proving to you that she actually was not. She did not get her period, and this was towards the end of Muhammad's life, and she still didn't receive her period.
These aren't questions of theology.
How many children does Aisha have?
Nope.
She doesn't have any kids.
Exactly. There's a reason why she doesn't have kids, because he's been fucking her when she didn't even reach her puberty. And when the prophet dies, his wives cannot be remarried. He's been fucking her, but I'm telling you, towards the end of his life, she didn't even get her period. She still used to play with her dolls at Khaybar when she was 15.
That's an interesting take, because I thought of it the other way. The fact that she didn't have.
It doesn't matter how you think about it. What matters?
No,
Nigga, what matters is the fact.
Have children. I took it as that there wasn't that much sex. You know.
Of course, she doesn't have children. She didn't have her period. She's a child.
I see that you took your interpreting the logic of that you're interpreting the hadith.
No, that's not an interpretation. That's fact. I told you, don't play with my balls. Don't play games with scripture.
There's other things relating to her sister, and that where people.
Stop playing games. Did you understand what I just told you?
I heard you.
That she can only play with her dolls up until she gets her period, and that when she was 15 at Khaybar, she still played with her dolls, proving she didn't get her period. Muhammad died a few years after that. Do you understand what I'm saying? You have a pedophile prophet. May he rot in hell. Happy Eid, bald-headed niggas. That's what pisses me off. I fucking hate it when Muslims talk about Jews.
I didn't say a word about a Jew.
Well, I'm not saying you, I'm saying in general, because the only people worse than Jews is you niggas.
Okay.
Because it's so funny, because I've seen some of you talk about Jews and how, according to Jews, if you're a boy, you can be, you know the whole drill with raping little boys and how the boys can do things and get away with it because they're not bound by the halakha. But according to what I showed you, the traveler thingy, you can do that too. The Muslims, so whatever you accuse the Jews of, you yourself are guilty of.
I don't accuse.
That's the issue. Huh?
Are you done with your show? La 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 la.
It's not a show. You still don't condemn your pedophile prophet. Till today, you still don't condemn.
You're asking questions that are a matter in history, jurisprudence.
No.
And morale.
I'm sorry.
These are questions that deserve more than just a surface level reading.
Yeah, surface level. Yeah, what I did is surface level. You're dumb. I'm sorry. It's so stupid.
I've been reading. I've been hearing what you guys have been saying. Are you talking about Islamic jurisprudence? Because if that's the case, we can go through it right now.
Yes.
I have pretty much
is of the opinion.
every single source,
I
can show that it's ijma'. I have a Google Drive of 123 pages that can go through every single school of thought, including ijma', from every single school of thought, including Sunnis and Shias. We can
Exactly. That's what I'm telling.
I can even go to Umdat al-Salik. I can go to Al-Hidayah.
So
That's what we're doing. That's literally what we just did. We did Umdat al-Salik right now.
Hold on. You just said ijma', which means consensus for those who don't know Arabic.
Yes.
So can you define for me ijma' in today's time? How are you defining consensus?
Deflection number one.
It's not a deflection.
Just like a kite. Exactly like a kite. Go ahead.
She doubts Phoenix. Let Phoenix prove himself.
All right. So here's the document.
Hold on. You don't need to show me the document. I just want to know how you define consensus.
The same way that the ulama have defined consensus since the dawn of time.
Okay,
is that all four schools of thought?
It's a deflection. It's a deflection. Keep going. Don't let her deflect.
And said,
Let's just prove his expertise.
this is something we agree upon. All the four schools of thought, the Sunni and the Shia, all the four schools of thought, the Sunnis came together, all the madahib came together and said, this is something we all agree upon.
Do you know that there was over 100 schools of thought at one point?
Oh my God.
Correct.
See, deflection number two.
And I can show you all four.
It does feel like
I'm
we're
sure
moving
all
away
four.
from the subject, Princessia.
What is it,
That's what she's doing. She does it even better than you, Mixed, that you won't believe it. Phonics, don't let her take charge of the convo because she's going to keep deflecting. I'm just letting you know.
If you can put this Google link on the top link, because it has everything you need in regards to this topic. So this particular one, I can read you all the ijma'. Let me go to the ijma' section right now, so you're well aware. So let's go there. And I'm opening the document right now. Let's go to the ijma'. So it's page 41. So if you guys can go there for a second.
Let's do it.
So this is also written in Arabic, so you can actually read in Arabic and you can understand this is perfectly translated. So so let's go to the Fihris. Where's the Fihris here? Okay. Consensus claims. So page 42. My bad. It's 42, not 41. Let's go there. All right. So let's read all of this. Ijma. Okay. Consensus claims permitted child marriage. First, let's talk about Ash-Shafi'i from the Ash-Shafi'i school of thought himself saying this. And the father marrying off the young child, as-saghar, is ancient, and no one disputes the fact that it is permissible. Muhammad ibn Nasr al-Marwazi, sorry, my apologies. The scholars have a consensus that the father can marry off his pubescent son and daughter, and they have no right of rescission, khiyar, and this matter means choice, by the way. So this is Muhammad, by the way, he lived in 817 till 905, so this is as early as it gets when it comes to this. Then we have Ibn al-Mundar, which is a very famous Shafi'i scholar. On his book, the chapter, A Father Marrying Off His Prepubescent Virgin Daughter. This is a consensus among the scholars that a father's contract of marriage for his prepubescent virgin daughter is binding. Want me to go keep on? Let's go to Al-Jawhari from the 10th century.
Nora, how do you deal with this?
They unanimously agree.
Well, I would first ask, where is this PDF from? Who wrote this PDF?
What you have to understand is Melissa is dating a Muslim, and ever since she's been
My
kissing
question
Muslim.
is genuine. He just put
The answer is, go find the answer if you press the link, motherfucker.
Drive in the chat, and he never said where it was from or who wrote it. It's a genuine question.
It's the references are there if you read it, and it also gives you the Shamila link. Do you know what Shamila is? These are
It's convenient to have a document that anybody could have written that they exclude certain things and only include certain things. That's why I'm asking who wrote it.
No,
Where did it
I've
come
read the
from?
document. Listen, Melissa, I know who wrote the document.
She's just simping for Muslims, nigga. She's just simping.
Wait.
He wrote it?
McZed, wait. I know who wrote it. A guy named MK. I can literally give you his account and everything on YouTube and on Reddit. He's on the Art Critique Islam page. But here's the thing. McZed, can you shut the fuck up for like 5 seconds? Shut up, you kike. I'm trying to speak.
Yes.
As I was saying, the person who wrote it knows Arabic, and also he didn't leave anything out. You can check the original links. The links to Al-Maktabat Al-Shamila are literally in the document. Sunnah.com, PDFs of the books, scans of the books.
Dude,
There's even medical sites.
She's just simping for Islam, nigga. She doesn't know what she's talking about.
But
She was just
there
supposed to
are
defend it.
parts
So it doesn't matter.
when talking about certain topics that could be left out because it's written by an individual.
Okay.
Yes, there are links to certain things,
show
but
me
how
how
to
it's left
know by reading this that you
Melissa,
didn't
How
know
do we know?
other things.
1400 years.
Like, the last thing we need is Muslims to cope. Imagine a non-Muslim who doesn't know shit about Islam trying
I
to
would be
cope.
asking this question when trying to reference a 100-page PDF
But
that
you're only
anybody
asking it
puts up about any
simply for
topic,
Muslims.
Randy.
You and I both
It doesn't
know
matter
what-
that it's about
We
Muslims.
have the links. We have the links to the books. You can literally go through them. It shows everything. Nothing. He doesn't quote any of it. I checked the books myself. I have that PDF. I've had it for like over a year. I have all those books.
So my point is, how do you know it's not excluding certain information, as in it didn't put certain information in there that pertains to the various topics?
Because you can literally watch videos today. You can watch videos today.
How about you find? Hold on a second. Before you come here and say, "Hey, you know what? Some things have been omitted." How about you actually show us examples of things that were omitted that counter this? Otherwise, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're talking about, and you're just simping for Islam because you have a Muslim boyfriend. I'm sorry. We ain't got time for this, motherfucker. We ain't got time for it.
It's about 100
We ain't got time for it, nigga.
Nobody has time to look at
My
this
God, we don't
entire
have time
thing.
for
That's
it,
why I'm
dude.
asking the question.
We always have
Your
time.
question is a retarded question, respectfully, and you are just simping, and it's so gay, and you're simping for pedophilia. Well
a
done.
random PDF file.
Hold on, everybody, calm down.
This is so stupid.
Yes, go ahead.
So just Melissa, just in terms of logic, Okay, we're reading the verse. We're reading actual quotes that are written, and they're pretty explicit. If you're thinking I'm actually taking it out of context, I'm reading you the entire paragraph.
She didn't even read them.
That says
she's just
that
simping for Islam. She has a Muslim boyfriend. Dude.
Randy, there's 123 pages. Of course, I haven't read it.
Yeah.
I glanced
Ever since
at
she got a
it.
Muslim
It's a
boyfriend,
PDF
she's been
file
simping for
that
Islam.
anybody could have written. I see that
Can
there
I
are
talk to
links.
this woman?
I see that there
Hold on,
is
let
Arabic.
Phoenix finish. Let Phoenix finish.
Well, it's hard to listen to it when Randy keeps interrupting, repeating the same damn shit.
No, it's because he's wasting his time. Your question is very disingenuous.
No, it's
and
not,
the only
Randy.
reason you
I
ask
would
it
ask
is
this
because you
question
have a
about
Muslim
any other
boyfriend.
topic when somebody pins a random PDF.
No, you wouldn't.
Yes, I would, and I
listen,
have.
No, you would not.
Melissa, if you wish to talk to me later on after this, we're more than happy to do so, and I'll give you exactly what I want to say in this regard. But if I'm not being cut off, I'll try to say it right now, which is that when I'm reading the words saying prepubescent girls are allowed and it's considered consensus, what other context would I need when I'm reading that word in verbatim? So you have to ask that what other qualifications I could have to nullify what the words actually mean, which is that it is considered consensus to have sex, divorce, and marry prepubescent girls. So that is what you need to ask yourself logically when you're reading words off a page. If I say prepubescent girl, marry and divorce is consensus, what other words need to be in there in order to nullify it? Because what you're asking for is mitigation. How am I mitigating when I'm reading an entire sentence without a single stop? Unless you're telling me that these guys who have taken the links out, which I, by the way, checked myself. I went to Shamada. I read Arabic. It's my first native language. I've read it, and I went to the actual source. I actually studied this while I was in university to become a Muslim judge. That was literally going to be my job until I found out all this disgusting stuff.
Muslim. I know this already.
So
My
in this
point
regard,
is that there are
Why can't you
various-
understand that she doesn't
We
care?
know there are various schools of thought, obviously, right? There are Sunnis and Shias. They have different viewpoints. There are many more sects beyond that, as I'm sure you're well aware of. They all have different views on things. They debate even hadith that are accepted.
They all allow
So my point is that I don't know what angle this PDF is coming from. Is this just a Shia view? Is
So
this
what
just
about
a
the Quran
Sunni
verse
view?
that I
No,
gave you?
Stop, guys.
That's what I want to know.
I can agree.
It's just being an asshole.
Oh, I think it tells you exactly the madhab in it. It tells you exactly each and every single one of them.
It does.
There's an entire section for Shias. There's an entire section for Shias.
Exactly. It goes
She
after
didn't
both.
check it. She didn't check it. She's just trying to defend it. That's what I'm telling you.
Pages
Yeah, we
within
know
3
that,
minutes of him
Rabbi.
posting it, obviously. And
Yeah, so why are you wasting your times on her? She's deflection.
It's not
Just
deflecting.
we're trying to
It's a
answer the
genuine
question.
You're deflecting from having a real
There's nothing genuine about it. You can how about you go on mute, open it up, read it, and then ask your question.
Randy, nobody has time to read
I'm just
123
gonna say
pages
that.
right now.
Okay, the first page will show you
Can I
everything.
This man is
answer
saying
that?
to me as
Rabbi,
verbatim.
Rabbi.
I'm
The first
gonna
page will
ask
show
the
you.
because I clearly don't have time to read 123 pages.
You have to read the first one. You just have to read the first one. I'm sorry.
And ruin the conversation.
Yeah, you have to read the first one. I'm sorry.
Can I just
Wait,
say
one
this
second.
really quick to her? I'm trying to tell her this. Okay, it attacks both Sunnis and Shias because they both allow it. All 4 madhabs in Sunni jurisprudence allow it. The Jafari school and the Shia sect allows child marriage. Every Ayatollah from Al-Sistani to Khomeini allowed child marriage. Iran allows child marriages at minimum age legally 13, and you can marry younger than 13, a 13-year-old girl. A fully grown man can marry somebody younger than that if the father and the judge give permission in Shia Islam. And and not only that,
Phoenix was going to be that guy.
Yeah, he was gonna be a qadi before he left, and that's the thing. All these things in this document are 100% true. You can find scholars today.
She doesn't. You're wasting.
Rabbi,
She doesn't know the difference between Hanafis and Hanbalis and Shafi'is.
Rabbi, please give me a second. It doesn't matter because all 4 of them allow it. If I could just finish my sentence and answer her, Rabbi.
She doesn't
for
care.
God's sake.
I do care.
Rabbi,
what I don't care is.
I'm just trying to answer her.
Randy.
Yeah, answer the question that she doesn't care about because she doesn't understand it. Go ahead.
Rabbi, I get she doesn't because you keep interrupting.
No, because she doesn't want to read the first page. Go ahead.
Oh my gosh!
Let's just can we just get Rabbi? Can you just finish the sentence? Thank you, appreciate it.
Honestly, you can find modern day scholars from Al-Azhar University in Egypt, which is one of the biggest universities in the Muslim world for Shafi'is. There are scholars who will tell you that according to all four madhabs, it is permissible to marry prepubescent children. You can find it on video today, not just like classical scholars in their books.
So my question for this would be, then if that's the case, then why in Iran, for example, is marriage not allowed unless you're 18? And why in Lebanon is child marriage also banned?
Lebanon is not
That's
Muslim.
because Lebanon is a Christian country. Lebanon is a Christian country, and I already told you. Also, that was a lie about Iran. Whoever told you it's 18 is completely lying. For one, Iran allows minimum age 13 and lower if a father and a judge permits it.
In Iran, they teach them in schools that a woman becomes a woman at 9. You have no clue what you're talking about. That's why this discussion is so disgusting.
Why has the Ayatollah said that the legal marriage age in Iran is 18?
No, he didn't. We actually have his work, and in Naqsh al-Balagha makes it very clear. It's talking about little girls. We even have it in the PDF file. It's in his PDF. We actually have a quote from him, from Ayatollah himself.
From Khomeini.
Khomeini himself said this in the book. Would you like me to read it?
Ayatollah Khomeini literally said you can have vaginal intercourse with the girl when she's 9, but you can thigh her when she's a suckling infant. I can read you the quote from here. It's in Tahrir al-Wasila.
But that's what Muhammad did.
And also, you have to understand about these Muslim countries. Let me make this very clear, because I've been in the Sharia courts in these Muslim countries. So the idea is that they have a state law, and they have a religious courts underneath them. So what that means is that because they need to make trade with the Western world, they have to have certain standards that they abide by under the United Nations and under the trade laws that they've created. You're not supposed to trade in slavery. You're not allowed to have a little child, and so on and so forth. So on the state level, they all have these rules and laws that actually show. So people like even tourists or expats want to come over, they can be under those laws. But once you're actually inside these countries and you start going there, if you're married by Muslim to Muslim and that person goes to a Sharia court instead of the state law, you're in big trouble. And by the way, that's binding, like literally binding, because the community enforces that rather than the state. Do you see the difference? Because
yes, I know there's a difference between the religious court and the legal court. Yes. Marriage and
by the way,
that's why we have. So that's why the state laws that we have are actually influenced by the United Nations and by the West, because they need the trade. They need the tourism. They need the expats to grow their economy.
It's the same thing in Europe. There are countries that have the legal age of marriage as young as 14. In the U.S.,
do you see how we deflected?
The youngest legal age is 16.
Rabbi, is she? You said she did.
That's what about it, though.
Yes, she is dating a Muslim, and that's why she's doing this.
Alright, guys, we're done with equally young, bro. Dude, this
why can't I have discussion, Randy? What is your...
We're unfortunately going to move on because we don't have time to keep wasting on your dumb questions. We were having a discussion, and now it turned into convincing you that this thing... Yeah, you can do that some other time. Not an issue.
Till you ruined it, Randy. We were having a conversation.
No, you're not even...
So how about you wave at him? How about you wave?
Because I'm being someone that you just don't care for. You can't have the conversation.
Yeah, we're not
really,
interested.
really
How about you
weird.
wave?
How
about you wave? About who
how about you wave?
That I can't have this conversation because of your weird personal problem.
Oh my God. So how about you wave so that you can have that conversation, because we're in the middle of a talk and now it's turned into convincing you because you would like to simp for a religion you have no clue about simply because you're dating a Muslim. I don't care. Like, that's just what it is. So you can wave at us.
Asking questions about child marriage, I think actually
you can ask that question in a separate room. Okay, you can ask that question in a separate room. There's no issue with that.
Because it's not going exactly how you want it to go, Randy. We have to now end the conversation.
You can ask that question in a separate room. So you can ask that question in a
No, we
separate
have to go take the conversation somewhere else because Randy doesn't want to talk about exactly what I'm saying. Right, because Randy wants to control the conversation.
No, exactly.
And
Because we're talking about something else. We're not interested in turning it about you and trying to.
Randy, it wasn't about me. You're trying to make it about you. Why can't you let the conversation flow?
It's not about me, but it's not. I don't care because they're literally for the past I don't know how long. All of it is just simply to convince you that it is not what you think it is, and that's so stupid. You don't even have.
It was a discussion, and all you've done is center yourself and attack me, Randy.
Okay,
this was for Nora.
The conversation.
Melissa, I don't want to kick you. We're gonna move on, and you can wave at them if you would like to continue that conversation.
Bro, it's crazy, dog. Look. Bro, she's going against
retarded.
the Bible entirely. No.
Yeah, you can wave so that you can have that conversation. Because that's boring.
That was the conversation, but now that I'm involved in it, you don't want to have it.
Melissa, you're not even equally yoked with your spouse. You don't know Islam. You don't know anything. You're just some
You don't know the first thing about me. Thank you very much.
You don't know. Yeah, I know.
I know exactly. I've met you a million times.
No, you don't. You don't know the first thing about me.
Yeah, I know.
Let me guess.
Are you no clue about anything regarding Islam?
She's a non-denominational.
You start talking about your personal life.
How
did you know that? If you're married or not, if you have children or not, if you're dating or not, should we start talking about that? Does that pertain to
We don't care. Melissa.
Non-denominational. She's solo scriptura.
Someone can't have a conversation.
We don't care.
Isn't that weird?
You can wave at them and you can have that conversation.
You hear that? No, Diego, you can't have conversations because of your personal life. That's awfully weird. You're forbidden from having.
Man, she's so obnoxious.
Damn, you kicked it. That's the first time Melissa.
No, it's so obnoxious. It's so annoying. Look, you can have that conversation by waving.
Forbidden from having conversations because Randy doesn't want to talk.
Dude, look, if you keep that up,
Randy,
I'm just gonna have to kick you because this is absurd.
Randy, stop it. Stop.
Actually, I love this about you right now, right?
Calm down, Melissa. Calm down.
I don't simp. The truth
I tell him to calm down.
Dude,
I really love
Randy.
May I just say one thing?
Absurd.
May I say one thing, Melissa? If you want to have a conversation on this, I can open another room for you.
Yeah, I mean it's an interesting conversation. We don't have to move. Randy could just fucking stop.
Or you can stop simping for something you don't even
I'm
understand.
not simping, Randy. It's a conversation.
No, you don't even know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're talking about.
You're right, Randy. So nobody should have conversations.
So how about you wave at him?
Learn anything. Nobody should talk about anything. Everybody should just put their heads in the sand. That's what they should do because that's what Randy says.
How about you wave at him?
How about we have the conversation that we were having here to begin with, Randy?
No, the conversation isn't about convincing you about things you have to do about.
This whole entire
how about you wave at him?
No, I started it. I wanted Nora's on the edge here, and I wanted her to just face the facts, which I think that Phoenix and Ash and the other guy brought. And so I was like, look, you can just let it go now. Even if only a quarter of the things are true, it's toxic enough that, you know what, let's just leave it behind. You know what I mean?
No, it's not about it being toxic. It's simply about the fact that she has no clue what she's talking about. I told you a million times, you're more than welcome to wave at the guy, especially since he is telling you that you can do that. You're more than welcome to do that.
I would rather have a group discussion.
Yeah, we're not having a group discussion about something you have no clue about. I'm sorry, it's boring.
Randy. And we can talk about it.
You're wasting your time. Everyone's time.
I mean, honestly, Nora, I think you should add him too and go there and like.
Painful. Imagine a deflection by someone who has no clue about Islam. It's absurd. It's disgusting.
Full of questions and discussion, Randy. How does anyone learn anything if they never have a discussion about it, Randy?
Yeah, well,
stick their head in the sand because that's clearly what you want people to do, Randy.
This is not for you to learn, honey. This is not for you to learn.
How do you learn? How do you discuss, Randy?
I
talk to new people.
I don't think
you ask questions.
Okay, but
Randy wants to inhibit all intellectual conversation because it doesn't suit Randy's needs.
We're still wasting our time. And instead of actually waving at him so that she may learn if that's what she really wants. What she wants
we
is
should just sit in here with you so you can fucking learn.
But what you want is deflect. That's what you want.
Even Nora will tell you.
The only one deflecting is you. I was engaging. All you were doing was attacking me.
That's just so boring. It's so boring. I'm gonna force you to go wave at him. So we'll see you later.
Okay, this is angry low IQ women. Oh, hi, Stinny. Did you just listen to any of that? This is Republicans comedy. I hope you enjoy. I'm rebranding everything Republican because, like, this culture war is never going to stop.
I just logged on, but I didn't hear a thing.
Oh, it was like an hour-long session of Rabbi Randy and Melissa Siciliano Pistiano, the the Sicilian stallion or whatever the fuck her name is, go at it because she's dating some Muslim guy, and they were reading to her the hard truths about pedophilia in Islam, and she couldn't take it, so she screamed at Randy, and Randy, talked back to her. It was very delightful because that girl Melissa like loves to have me kicked from rooms and talk shit about me, so it was great to listen to her. Yeah.
Is it going to be on YouTube?
Yeah, the whole thing's live.
Oh shit! Okay.
It's not like something you'd want to like listen to again. This is brain rot, but it's what we got. It's what we got to sell. We got brain rot for sale. You want to buy any?
Fuck yeah, I'm all about that brain rot.
I should create an Instagram and a YouTube called Brain Rot and like.
You should.
Yeah.
You should. Gen Z would be all over that.
Yeah, I don't know. I got so much work to do over the next like 48 hours, really, 72 hours. I procrastinate. I'm the biggest procrastinator ever.
Real work or this kind of work?
Paperwork, real work outside of this.
I was bogged down with that all morning.
Yeah, taxes, all that shit. I gotta do it all. Yeah. This is the big weekend. Monday's the big day. But yeah, today was fun. Like, I've been rebranding everything Republican, and the Illinois GOP chair just stepped down. So it's like we have been pressuring this guy to step down for a while, and hopefully we can have an actual political revolution in the state of Illinois. Not likely. We need a lot of money. We need good leadership with a lot of money. We have to buy the hearts and minds of the voters.
Are you seriously running?
Yeah, I'm registered to run in the 16th district. Yeah, I'm getting.
Good for you.
Yeah, I'm getting contacted by all types of people that, basically they want to sell me services, but
yeah,
I'm not going to buy anything. But I'll say, hey, you want to be on my podcast? It's good for them because I'll clip them and like get them more, traffic to their handles and everything. So.
Whatever happened to your Roger Mayhem movie?
There's a house, the Roger Mayhem house or whatever, but that's all just a shtick to try to like.
No, I know. I was being kind of sarcastic, but he's no longer around. What happened?
Yeah, I don't know. They had like they kicked him or something. I think like they suspended his account, and then now he just talks to black people on Chatter for 8 hours a day.
Oh, he's over there?
Yeah, him and Jay Bresco, they talk to black people all day.
Yeah. I heard Jay trying to get you over to Chatter. For me, it's kind of dead over there. It's the same bullshit, man. It's the same.
It's the same stupid shit. Yeah, it's not. They come back to Clubhouse to say come to Chatter, and it's like, yeah, your room on Clubhouse is bigger than your Chatter room, and like it's just the same stupid shit, just even worse.
It's all people over. All the people over there are there because they think they're eventually going to get paid for it. Like people would pay to listen to them speak.
It's not gonna happen.
Not gonna happen. I don't care. There's not anyone I would pay to to listen to at all. Not here, not there, nowhere. I'm cheap.
It's wild.
And they're not interesting enough. So, yeah. Let me see what's in the hallway. It's too bad you couldn't get into Copeland last night, but I understand that Pepe is better content.
Yeah, it's all horrible. Copeland would have also been horrible brain rot, but, was he talking about the Zav?
What is it, though? What is it? I don't know. What is it that I need background just brain rot when I paint, when I drive? I was in my car for 5 hours yesterday coming back from my parents' house, and I needed something. I just didn't even want to listen to music. I just needed brain rot. What is that about?
I think it's like it has to do with our like social. Honestly, I think it's like a hypnosis. Like you could have put on Mozart and also felt the same. You probably would have felt better with Mozart if we were to do like an actual study.
Yeah. A little Rachmaninoff would have been better, but instead I chose, I think it was Jeff's room for most of the drive. But yeah, I noticed even when I'm painting, and I should be listening to something, or maybe nothing at all, silence. Why are we so afraid of silence, or me? I don't know. It's something to be looked at, for sure.
I mean, you just have to reflect and say, okay, I'm a purchaser, I'm a buyer, I'm a consumer, I'm not a creator. Like you could have like live streamed yourself, listening to music in your car. I do that all the time. Whenever I'm in my car, I just fire up Clownhouse and I stream what my CD player is playing.
That's That's a good point, because instead of just listening to brain rot while I'm painting, I could actually be like making tutorials on how to do watercolor, or do a flip through of my tarot decks that I want to sell. That would have made possibly some money on YouTube. So it's kind of like the brain rot is a distraction on being productive and making money. To me.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm doing what I can do, and it's like.
No, what you're doing is fucking brilliant. I've always had respect for you, because you turned this useless piece of shit app into something that can make you money.
I'm not making money though. Like it'll never happen. The only thing I can hope to achieve is maybe political power. And then make money through salary and donations. But Chris down there in the audience, he put me onto this guy named Belmont Potion Castle, or Longmont Potion Castle. Have you heard of this 80s serial prank recorder? He would harass people on the telephone and record the prank calls of like a crazy person calling crazy people.
Oh my God, now that.
Yeah.
That's up my alley, man. I grew up on like Jerky Boys and all that. Paul Rosenberg, Mike Rizzo, R-I-Z-Z-O. So.
But it's the same thing. It's the same thing here on Clownhouse. What we don't realize is everybody is really stupid, and but to record this insanity is like a once in a lifetime thing. I mean, people don't gather generally to roast themselves and to humiliate themselves with their horrifically bad takes and bad commentary and neuroticism. Because the more crazy the person is, the louder and more obnoxious they are, the better the LPC is. So yeah. We want crazy people actually in this recording studio. We want to hear the craziest takes, the most vulgar behavior, because it's technically Howard Stern show. That's all it is.
Yes. yes. It's like a shock jock radio show. Starring Pepe and Dr. Adams and Jazzy and, you know.
It's a cast of characters, and there's no organizer. I'm the only person who's actually organizing any of this.
Yeah.
And Chris down there too, because he live streams as well. But
hi, Chris. Oh, I didn't know that.
yeah,
What's up, Chris?
He has become a live streamer.
That's awesome, though. You know, honestly, if I can't find a good room, I'll just go to your YouTube channel and pull something up. Or your Instagram, just pull, you know, again, I need that brain rot. I need to stop. I need to be more productive or, you know, something other than the brain rot. That dopamine chase, you know.
Yeah, it's definitely a dopamine chase.
Yeah.
It is. I'll tell you, working out definitely impacts the way that you chase the dopamine. Because
yeah, but that's the thing. I'm at the gym listening to this shit, you know?
Oh God, I totally I film myself at the gym working out, but I don't actually listen to anything at the gym. I just listen to the music.
Yeah, no, I do.
But what I'm saying is the desire to want to create dopamine by talking is not as desirous when you are full of dopamine. Like you realize like just listening to people do all the work here is better than you wanting to create artificial dopamine by yelling and talking. And you just listen to these people exhaust themselves, and you're just like, God, everybody is their own worst enemy. I mean, people are so neurotic. It's unbelievable.
Mm-hmm. Let me ask you something real quick, because I have to go start dinner. But who is Dr. Australia?
That is someone who hates these people and gives me play-by-plays in the chat of the horrific, stupid things that people say.
Oh my God, I love it. Yeah, I've seen her pop around different rooms, but yeah, I knew she was part of your clique, but I wasn't sure.
Just another crazy person. I think if you don't say anything, you might even be crazier than the people you're making fun of.
Yeah, true. I mean, I barely say anything, so I'm probably on that level.
Because yeah, they're not getting their talk therapy, and they're just like inputting and putting all this stuff in their cup. But like, what do? Go to the bathroom afterwards and puke? I mean, I take a hot bath and consider that my daily baptism. You know, I cleanse myself of this sin known as clown house every day when I take a hot bath, and I, totally immerse myself, and I say, okay, I'm now a new person again. This brain rot is not, within me. This is within them. I am just a reporter. I am an LPC.
Yeah.
It's comedy. I mean, I'm trying to make it into comedy.
It really is. Yeah, hashtag comedy, hashtag, yeah. Yep.
Ooh, what's going on here? Nothing.
Yeah, let me see if there's any good rooms for you to troll. I gotta pop off and make dinner.
Oh, there's lots of trolls on here. This is not going
have you been to BB and the Chosen Ones? They're talking about Gaza raising the white flag and her fights on Clubhouse.
Yeah.
That guy Morty sounds just like El Normo. I don't know who it is. It's a troll, but...
Oh. Maga Doge.
Anyway, good luck. I'm making curry, so it takes a while.
Did you see Russell Brand get charged with rape?
What? No. I love him. No. Not him. Not Russell.
Yeah, they might put his ass in jail.
Oh, shit.
He's got too much power on YouTube.
Beyond thought, how shall we understand?
Yeah, him and then Le Pen in France, like...
Holy crap.
This is the craziest thing about politics is once you get political, I mean, if a judge doesn't like you, or there are false accusations, and then, the trial becomes the punishment, it's the state versus independent media, essentially.
He was just on the beach here in Florida not 2 weeks ago with his wife. and kids. Someone I know bumped into him. So that's crazy. Poor guy.
Yeah, he's fucked. His court case is in May. I wonder if there's any truth in it.
Probably not.
Because a lot of guys who are totally sober, like they're so healthy that they're like super horny. Mm-hmm. And so you know, there's a lot of swingers. There's a lot of swingers out there. I don't know what to tell you, but there's a lot of swingers out there.
Yeah, there's a lot of swingers, and yeah.
See, the whole thing about the spiritual movement though is a lot of it is tied up in sex magic, and they think there's like something, you know, magical about sex. So a lot of spiritual gurus end up becoming you know, predators, or they don't call it predation, but it's not marriage.
True.
Okay, enjoy your dinner. God bless. I'm gonna live stream another one.
Have fun.
Thanks. Take care.
And you know, Beersheba and stuff like that, but it's not what the media portrays. I mean, the media, there's no happy media channel. There's no happy news channel. Like, hey, welcome to the Happy News Network. They wouldn't have any viewers. It's like rooms like this. When we're talking and making sense and we're calm, look how the room got everybody left. They want to join a room where people are fighting. It's like a cancer. It starts to spread, and the room gets busy. They start pinging people in. Yo, there's a fight going on. It's like a fight in a schoolyard. Everybody shows up. But if two guys met at that schoolyard and shook each other's hands, everybody walks away. It's the craziest shit.
No, I hear you. What do you think should be the situation with Judea and Samaria as well? Like, do you think Israel should annex it?
Jesus.
What do you think?
That's a difficult one. I don't want to speak on it because I don't really know what should happen. But I think maybe there should be a vote. If I like had to figure it out, I'd want to learn more. But I think maybe there should be a vote and see who wants to be part of Israel, like as a, you know, productive person of society, and whoever doesn't, they can also go on the ride to a relocation with the Gazans if you don't want peace and you need to get the fuck out. Because the reality is there's over 2 million Arab Israelis living inside Israel, benefiting and contributing to society. So.
Right, I agree.
And it's not a secret that Israel contributes a lot of technology to the world. Why not be a part of that? Why not reap the benefits of that? And it's not just Jews that are doing it. There's Christian Israelis, there's Muslim Israelis, there's Jewish Israelis, there's Buddhists, there's all kinds. There's Indians, there's, you know, Filipinos, there's Malaysian. There's a lot of Israelis that are, you know, being part of the contribution towards the world. Why not reap the benefits of that and be part of that? Be part of that good thing.
I mean, of course, every time I bring that up to even some friends, you know, they would accuse me of, you know, all the words that you can think of. But, you know, I'm like, you know, it's like, you throw yourself in the Mediterranean, you know, to reach Europe and to even Europe. I mean, you've got this, like, just right next to you, right next door. You know, it's a place where, you know, it's, you know, technologically advanced, and, you know, you've got, it's very secular, it's very, you know, like the law applies to everyone. Why not be part of it? Like, why not embrace it? Why not celebrate it? Why do you want to tear it down? You know, why do you want to replace it with something else? I don't have the answer. You know, because my parents told me, like, before the Oslo, you know, they used to go to Haifa and Jaffa and, you know, and everywhere, you know, absolutely no problems. And as soon as Oslo happened and then Intifada, you know, and then there was all these blockades and everything, their lives changed, you know, because, you know, the situation changed. But before that, they used to live freely and they were mostly peaceful and everyone was happy.
See, that's crazy, and that's how it should be, right? I think that people need to be positive citizens of society and contribute and do their best, whatever they can. Help out, let the country grow, flourish. Nothing's going to happen with fighting. Well, the only thing that's going to happen is death. And we see it time and time again. So, how many times can you keep fighting the great giant, of Israel? They're not getting tired. They're going to get stronger and stronger, and they're going to change the way they're fighting. Maybe the soldiers aren't going to react the same way, but they're going to use technology. They're going to use things. Like, it was the most amazing. I was so proud. Not that people died, but I was so proud of the precision attack they did in Lebanon, how precise it was.
Yeah.
That's impressive to see an army do that. To like precise, like precision targeting. Wow. I don't know any other country that does that with that many people.
Yeah.
I've never heard of it. You know what I mean?
No. I mean, I know it's weird to hear, an Arab or Palestinian say that, but the idea is amazing. Like, I was just thinking about that. I was, just 2 days ago, I was in a cab on a hill, and then I looked around and I thought, like Israel goes into all the intricate operations, as you said, like to basically just reach one position or one house, or like all these super precise attacks, like all this effort that goes into it. Like, this is actually a play, or this is, if this says anything, it says really about how moral, in my opinion, like the army is, and the society is, and of course this does not really, I mean, the complete opposite is what the media portrays, but in reality, like, since when, like, this is a war that's basically very, very, very selective. Of course, that's not always the case, because in Gaza you've got millions of people who are crammed in a small area, so it's quite different. But it's a very precise, it's a very moral, at the same time it's a very just kind of operation. So I have to say that, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. I think the gamble that they made, the bet, I think they need to realize that their team lost. Hamas, I should say. Like, if they picked Hamas, it lost. You can't do what you did and come back from that and everybody say, you know what, it's over. The fight's over. We're just gonna let you live, and then plan again. Maybe you can plan harder next time. Maybe you can kill 3,000 people. We'll give you that chance. I think never again is never again, and I think Israel is fed up, and they're showing. Like, at one point they were fighting, and like, I think, and I could be wrong, but Mickey would probably know better. You could type it in the chat. But like, I think they were fighting on 7 fronts.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. And how weak of a country would you be to do that? No, you'd have to be very strong, and somebody who's determined, a country that's determined to want peace. Because you don't fight on 7 fronts because you want to die. You're fighting because it's the last thing you got to do to survive. And protect the people. You're not just protecting Jews, you're protecting Israelis. Muslims, Christians, Jews, like, you're protecting Israeli citizens, which boggles my mind how people don't see that. And it's always retaliatory, It's never...
Always defensive.
Pardon?
It's always defensive.
Yeah, it's always defensive. And you don't just see like Israel walk into a country like out of nowhere, like China, show up and say, boom, let's just drop 3 bombs, see what happens. No. It's if China, doesn't even matter how big China and how superpower it is. If it drops a missile on Israel, Israel's going to get back to them one way or the other, whether they do it through a cyber attack, whether they do it with, boots on the ground, whether they do it with airstrike, however they're going to get them, they're going to get them back.
Been good.
They're going to let them know,
working,
whoa, you spanked me, I'm punching you. Don't do that. Let's just have peace. It's just, I just don't see how these supporters are running around with their head like a chicken with his head cut off, screaming, supporting. Like the other room I was just in, it was amazing. You have these people that were like, best friends a month ago, supporting each other, and it blew up in that other room. Palestine Revolt is fighting with resistance, saying, "You're not even an Arab. You don't support us. Stop. We don't give a fuck what you have to say." Palestine Revolt is screaming, "You're a fake Muslim. You don't even know how to speak Arabic." It's like self-destructing. And the people from the region don't even want these supporters, from what I'm seeing, to stop already, because it's enough's enough. Because they want to continue the fight. And I believe there's people that want to live and have the fight stop. Like, I'd have to be human to believe that there's still humans out there on every side, in every walk of life, that still want to live. And they look at their children and they're like, is it worth it? I want my children to grow up and have a future. I want them to have a bright life. I want my children to be able to bear children and teach their children. And then hopefully this never happens to them or their families growing up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, growing up as well, like, to be honest, I used to think sometimes that Israel was a bit too harsh. For example, if someone did an attack, like, to say the IDF would come and blow up their family's home, but then as well, over time I realized that, unfortunately, like, having this kind of power works, or having this kind of scaring like, unfortunately, like, being too nice doesn't work as well. Like, still personally, I feel like if a family member committed an attack or something, I don't want to be paying the price for it. But at the same time, like, I ask myself, well, maybe this works. Or maybe this is why you don't see any attacks or much attacks coming from the West Bank, because people do not want that to happen to them. They don't want to pay the price for someone else's, mistakes. So, yeah.
You must get attacked a lot from your point of view on this app.
I mean, not only that, I mean, you want to have, but, when I'm sharing with others, of course. So.
See, that's horrible. They don't even want to hear, I guess, what you have to say, or they're calling you a liar, or they're saying you're not from that area because you're speaking peaceful. And with, I'm trying to put the word, sensible. And a lot of people don't want to hear sensible things. And I'm seeing a lot of these people that are supporting are from, like, India, Pakistan, the craziest countries in the world that don't even know where Israel is on a map. They couldn't, if you gave them a globe and you said, show me where Israel is, they wouldn't be able to find it. To me, that's troubling. That you would support something you know nothing about, but yet there's, atrocities going on in Yemen, Syria.
I'd love to get a drink with you.
Like, everywhere around the world, it's crazy.
Yeah, I hear you.
So should I drink with you?
No, but it was very nice talking with you. Honestly, it's a little breath of fresh air to hear somebody that's kind of civil.
Dinner, so let's drink with you tonight.
And can have some rationale and understands, like, there's struggle, both sides, there's struggle. Nobody's perfect, and enough's enough. There shouldn't be fighting anymore. There should be peace. People should want peace.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why when I saw the title of the room, I'm like, well, this is a reality. Like, some people are tired, and we can't just keep going on like this forever.
Yeah, no, that's good. God, come on.
Zed, how much do you think Russia is involved in some of this sort of terrorism / counterterrorism /
Yeah, I heard they all.
Is it also possible, if I may, is it also possible, again, I'm just asking, is it possible that
they're actually talking about running Marjorie Taylor Greene for the Senate? She'll probably win. It's a matter of where you are, how blue-gray it might be where you are.
I'm afraid that if she wins the Senate, she'll have great influence on the policy of this nation. Because right now she's just an outlier bloviator. But as a senator, that gives her great significant influence.
Yeah,
and if that happens, I'm going to have to, I'll say this publicly, pull all my money out of my stocks in the Jewish lasers.
I was going to say, there's a woman in Congress who was a member of QAnon who talked about Jewish space lasers. And this gets to the heart, I think, of some of the Republican issues, right? The Republican Party and more like the MAGAs, they have become the party of grievance. It's not really about politics, local, national. It's, I'm mad about something.
So how do all the things that you're pointing out, Daryl, affect the midterm election?
Well, it does, because I think depending on where you are, if you're going to vote your grievance, you're going to vote your grievance. And so again, if you're in a state like,
remember that part,
where some people on stage come from, and they talked about, plants being shut down and how many people lost their jobs, not understanding that they're the people that are most likely going to be affected by all of these things, but it doesn't matter. It's just a grievance. So I don't think that all of these people are going to start voting blue because of Donald Trump's grievances, because they didn't, Donald Trump's policies, because they didn't vote for him because of what he said his policies were. They voted for him because he said, I'm going to burn down the house and I'm going to change it. They never really asked themselves if he really can do it. All they have to do is not get in his way. And that's the issue. So I don't think the midterms are going to have a blue wave or anything like that, because I think it is now established that you have a wing of the Republican Party that is just mad about everything in life not going their way, and they don't care if the house burns down because it wasn't their money anyway.
There are a couple of issues. One of them we explored in great detail, and one of them not so much. The one of absolute significance to so many people in this country was the illegal migration into the nation. And it's had a lot of negative effects. It's had some positive effects too, by the way, if you really look at it, because in Florida, the fact that there are fewer migrants there now as a result of the crackdown, the state legislature is moving toward relaxing child labor laws to get children to fill in where the migrants once worked. So
they're not. They shouldn't be approved.
But the imagery of, as I said earlier, of the people coming across the border, and I don't believe that this was an invasion, nor do I believe that they were let out of prisons to come here. But there are people here who are criminals from other nations. There are a lot of people who were born here who are criminals, and but once again, the Republicans are good at getting the message about how you have to be afraid of everybody who doesn't speak English as their first language. They've been just really brilliant at doing that, and so once again, we have to give them credit. But the Democrats, I think, shoot themselves in the foot with this big embracement on the transgender issue. I was going to look it up.
But here's the thing, Gary.
Wait a minute. I was going to look it up. I was going to look at how many people in this country are, and by the way, I think there's like a swelling of people right now who are jumping on the bandwagon saying that I'm transgender when they may not have felt that way before. Even with those numbers, it's such a minute, and then if you take those number of people and say how many of them are athletes competing, it's so few people. Why are you pick your battle? And I don't understand why the Democrats picked this battle.
I don't think they did. I think a bunch of YouTubers picked this battle. I never heard one Democrat publicly, like someone running for office, talking about the transgender issue.
I haven't heard them talk against putting biological men in female prisons, or talk against putting people who are born male against them becoming athletes to compete against girls. I hear the Republicans talk about it. Once again, they seized upon an issue, and the Democrats, at the very least, stood by and allowed them to do so. They named one Democrat. Yeah. Named one Democrat who has come out and said, "This is horrible." You didn't hear it from the top of the party during the last administration saying that this is horrible. I don't want my granddaughter getting hurt playing volleyball or some other sport, basketball, better example, because the girl on the other team is really a guy and muscular, and when my daughter gets fouled, she may end up in the hospital, which has happened.
Well, what the Republicans do is they have this thing where they know how to attack fear-based issues. Before I wrap, this is why I say that they've become the party of grievance, right?
I get that, but I'm just saying, my point is that the Democrats, they allow their silence at the very least. And by the way, there was a bill passed, and I think this hurt the election. I don't think it was a tipping point in Minnesota, which permits individual schools, school districts or individual schools to decide whether they want to put. It didn't require it as the Republicans claim, yeah. but it allowed for the putting of tampon dispensers in boys' bathrooms. Yeah. I mean, are you out of your mind for passing something like that? Yeah. Are you not recognizing that you're just shooting yourself politically in the foot? I think the Democrats are just horrible at this kind of thing.
Because they spend too much time pontificating. Here's the last point I want to make, right? Lauren Boebert gets caught on camera at a public theater giving a hand job and getting her boob squeezed. They move her to another district, and she still wins against 4 other better qualified candidates. This is where that party is, and it has become a party of, I'm not winning, the House is cheating, so I don't want to play anymore, and I'm just going to turn the table over because
there's a whole psychology involved in that, which I'm not going to get into right now because I'm really not an expert, but I have a sense of it. Thank you, Daryl. Jude, you get the...
Well, I'll just lead off with Monsef. You're going to want to look into the history of New York City in 1975. The banks just kind of pulled one on the city itself. And because of this, the city was in grave situation, and Donald Trump capitalized on that situation and got a sweetheart tax deal worth millions of dollars. So if you're not going to go look into 1975 and that history and be so attached to your opinion about Donald Trump's business dealings, then maybe learn some stuff and wake up. And this is what the Democrat Party has to do if they're going to win again. Because I'm happy that you brought this stuff up, Gary. Listening to the most influential The people who get the most attention and the most powerful progressive people on this app, listening to their sentiment and looking at the low approval rating of the Democrat Party, I don't think the Republicans have anything to be concerned about. The delusions that are being doubled down on in the progressive crowd is absolutely fascinating to observe. And then also the anti-Semitism and anti-Christian values. This definitely hurt the Democrats as well. So they can double down on all the delusions they want.
Let me just jump on that one for a second. And again, it's the marketing. The Republicans have marketed themselves as saying that the liberals are supportive of anti-Semitism. And they're great at getting this message out. The reality is, as I've said before, I came up with it, and anybody else can use it, and I use it all the time. And I probably, at this point, have said it so often on this stage that it's nauseating, and you know what's going to come out of my mouth. But I'm going to say it again. If you're Jewish, you're like a quarterback. If you just look at the left because you're afraid you're going to get sacked from the left, you're going to get sacked from the right. And if you just look at the right, you're going to get sacked from the left. There are elements in both parties and in both political ideologies who are anti-Semitic, and I will leave it at that. But just to say, this is one, again, that the Republicans have done a great job of capitalizing on. And Marshall just walked into the room. Marshall, I'll let you address the topic before we say good night.
So are we going to have to agree to disagree here, Garrett?
Oh, that wouldn't be the first time, dude, so it doesn't bother me. Go ahead.
I mean, as of now, for the tariffs, yeah, there's a lot to worry about. I saw my little brother yesterday or the day before, and his point of view was essentially the people that have put the tariffs together are economically illiterate. If we continue to go down this path where prices get raised on the end consumer through tariffs, then it's quite possible that we lose the House and possibly we lose the Senate too. So.
Very succinct, and I thank you for those wise words as we close out the week. Folks, we're here Monday through Friday from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. New York time, so till 5 p.m. New York time on Monday. For the next edition of the Critical Thinking Forum, everybody be safe, be well, and have a great weekend, and peace out.
It's our choice whether we let that reality in, to let plants in. Described by
Well, skies are gray, but you never know, dear.
Moreover, my home is still not purged of chametz.
Oh,
working on it.
We're finishing it up.
This weekend?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I like doing that. Is it wrong that we say chametz?
No, why?
You say chametz, I say chametz.
Whichever, yeah.
Oh, chametz, they're like the little crumbs.
Yeah, bread.
No, it's actually correct like it. Chametz. You say chametz.
Chametz.
Chametz. Right, if you're Mizrahi, it's technically correct, yes.
Okay.
I read a few years ago. You know, we have the DSM, which is a diagnostic and statistical manual that psychologists use to diagnose different situations. There's a similar version in Israel. But there's a diagnosis for a very, very, very small percentage of women, exceedingly small, try themselves to inordinate amounts. They just literally go off the deep end, pulling up floorboards to vacuum amidst of the house. And it becomes
floorboards.
Yeah, floorboards.
Okay,
yeah,
I've never heard
so
of.
Concerned.
Wow.
Well, yeah, it's very few people. Probably like one or two a year need to be institutionalized because they just literally take it to the nth degree.
Also, there's some for like women that cannot pronounce chametz.
Yeah. No, we're on DSM.
Daniel.
It's also like once a year. One case.
Daniel, it's not only that that close. If I want to get on an LL flight, I could find you probably in, let's see, from Ben Gurion to where he is, say at night it would take. Yeah, I'm coming for you, Daniel. I don't know when.
Hold from here to Germany?
No, he's in Tel Aviv.
No, I'm anywhere between the river and the sea.
That was well done. Well done.
Docs, as David Bobadilla says.
Well put.
Docs! Yeah, I'm in Tel Aviv. Come and get me.
You're there for the holidays?
I'm in Tel Aviv, come. I came also for the holidays, but I came because I wanted to come. And then I said, Pesach is right around the corner, so I'll stay at least until Pesach.
Oh, I saw you so this morning, by the way. She says hi.
So, Daniel, are you going to be...
She says hello.
Rega, Daniel, are you going to be the one running the Seder?
No.
Okay.
Oh.
That sounds like a hard no. It's not so difficult.
He's a Seder submissive.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yes, I also don't read the Kushiyot anymore.
You don't what? I can't.
Really?
I don't read the Kushiyot anymore.
Why?
The younger people than me.
So? Everybody reads them.
The youngest.
Not only
the youngest.
Rega, the youngest goes first. But it goes youngest to oldest reads them.
Oh, no, we do that. Like our Minog is the youngest, reads them all.
Yeah.
No, exactly. He asks the questions and we answer the answers.
Really? So what's your answer question?
Huh?
It's afterwards.
Okay.
It's after the 4 questions.
Who's summarizing it? I'm the only phone? Summarizing the conversation?
No,
okay.
it's right.
Oh, that's you?
Not right. I keep on doing that. That's right.
So send it to us in the email after.
I don't even have matzah in the house yet. I'm really behind, guys.
You need to Instacart that stuff before they're out.
No, that's my plan.
In our town, if you don't do it by now, you're done.
Okay, I gotta do it by Sunday.
What is Instacart?
Instacart is for shopping for people who don't want to leave their house. It's an app, and you.
Okay. You order.
It's like Uber Eats, but for supermarket stuff.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. I guess they don't have that in Germany.
I think it's kind of funny.
No, we have it.
Uber is not in Germany, but Uber is a German word.
Alles.
No, we do have it in Germany, and we also have it in Israel.
Someone told me they don't. Like a couple days ago, it says, "Do you have Uber in Germany?"
It's not in Israel.
No, it's not called Uber. That's the thing.
It's
we
called
have a service, but it's just not called.
Yeah.
We have Amazon.
Called Uber, like their worldwide branding is Uber, and that's a German word. So you think
we also don't have Uber in Israel, and we have other services.
Yep. I only know about Get Taxi. What's the other ones?
No, for example, for Uber Eats, we have Wolt, and we have each supermarket has basically an online delivery.
Yeah, and those cute little scooters. Yep.
Like basically, you can choose your own supermarket, and then we usually have a website, if it's Superstar or whatever. You make an order, it comes to you.
Yep. Actually, I don't think I've ever been inside a Superstar.
Yeah, we have Superstar here, but they turned into seasons.
Oh! They turned to seasons. Okay, now that's clicking. No, I'm saying in Israel, I haven't been to Superstar. I've been to Chetzi Chinam, which it isn't. To
it's Chetzi Yakar.
Not that either.
Chetzi Chinam.
Yeah. Do you know when you take off from? I guess you know this. When you take off from Ben Gurion, you look out the window on the right side. They have Chetzi Chinam on a big roof there at the airport.
Okay.
Next time you leave, take a look.
What do they have?
A big ad. It just says Chetzi Chinam.
Hey, how does it work? I know there's some cemeteries near the airport. Do they fly around them, like for the Kohanim?
Probably.
Or do they just go over them?
They do something.
I mean, I do know. I do know that basically the Kohanim, they're like this hardcore. wrapped around with like
Stop.
nylon, which is
Stop.
weird to me.
Stop.
I saw this.
The
I think that in
husband.
general they fly.
He's not
Yeah,
making
but
fun
in
of
general,
No, but you have to say
in
that.
general they fly. There's no one here. In general, they fly around above cemeteries, not necessarily Jewish ones, but you know,
In what?
just fly.
I can't hear.
This is Illinois Record breaking news. This is IllinoisRecord.com. Breaking news. Thanks to everyone sharing yesterday's article. Sean Morrison resigned as Cook County GOP chair. Rejected by both liberals and conservatives, Sean Morrison resigns 1 year before his term was set to end. Thanks to your continued support and attention, our reporting has once again made an impact. Sean Morrison, the pedophile defending Cook County GOP chair, has officially resigned. 1 year before his term was set to end, he leaves office in disgrace. Warning, shocking content. Orland Park Police released the text messages Anthony Martin sent to the teenager he molested at Sean Morrison's house. Even after Martin's arrest, Morrison insisted he trusted Martin and continued to employ him and provide him with a cell phone. Illinois Record previously reported on Sean Morrison's letter to Cook County Judge Hines, urging leniency for Anthony Martin, a man convicted of molesting a teenager at Morrison's own home. The judge ultimately granted that leniency, even allowing Martin to travel on Morrison's behalf. Unlike the non-child sex offenders Morrison routinely criticizes on Twitter, Martin quickly reoffended in Colorado. Morrison's 9 years at the helm were defined by scandal, financial collapse, and political irrelevance. The high point of his tenure turned out to be the moment he walked away. Morrison is seeking to extend his corrupt legacy by pushing his longtime crony and political ally Aaron Del Mar as his replacement. He's not just backing Del Mar politically, he's also the godfather to Del Mar's child. That kind of personal tie says everything about how deep this alliance runs and just how desperate they are to keep control. Del Mar, who has recently resigned twice as Illinois State Party co-chair, is best known on the Illinois Record as an adult entertainment entrepreneur, operating both Chicago Tryst and Soul Raper. Dear SCC, after the election, Aaron Del Mar, co-chair of the Illinois Republican Party, expressed his intention to step back from his role after the new year to explore and potentially pursue new opportunities. I have asked him to continue serving as co-chair until a successor is named and the transition is finalized. He has graciously agreed. I am deeply grateful for Aaron's dedicated service to the party and look forward to working alongside him as we continue our efforts to make Illinois red again. The 8th District Congressional Committee voted on a candidate to fill the vacancy. The committee members cast a weighted vote in accord with the voting strength of the respective counties. I am pleased to announce that Debbie Kanarowski has joined our State Central Committee, effective immediately. Please join me in extending a warm welcome to Debbie. We are confident that her insights and contributions will help guide the Illinois Republican Party to even greater success. We look forward to introducing Debbie during our upcoming SCC meeting on January 11th. Encourage you to reach out to her personally to share your warm welcome. Thank you for your continued dedication and support, Kathy. Illinois Record, early December 2024, leaked email sent to Illinois GOP officials announcing Del Mar's plans to resign. Effective immediately, I am resigning from my position as co-chairman of the Illinois Republican Party. I can no longer, in good conscience, remain in this role. while awaiting a successor and facilitating a transition. To be clear, I will remain in my duly elected role as State Central Committeeman, 5th Congressional District. I cannot and will not be complicit in the current course of action within the party. The Illinois Republican Party has long stood for transparency, character, and integrity. Values, I believe, are being compromised. I refuse to remain silent as these principles are undermined. Thank you for the opportunity to serve. This is Facebook Delmar's second resignation, also served as a grandstanding moment. Reportedly, he was upset over not being appointed to a vacant state Senate seat. Aaron Delmar, who Politico hinted may be running for governor, owned SoulRaper.com as recently as 2014. Illinois Record, who is data, confirms Aaron Delmar's ownership of SoulRaper.com, a site that featured an image of what appears to be Satan alongside the question, "Got soul?" Albeit with different intentions, it's the same question Illinois Record often asks of political figures. Whoever is next named chair is set to inherit what's left of the Cook County GOP, including its pathetic $4,410.49 in the bank account. Illinois Sunshine, Cook County GOP's account. Illinois Record will continue tracking this race, naming every candidate who steps up and every committee man willing to sell their soul to Soul Rapers, Raper.com's Aaron Delmar. The public deserves transparency, not another decade of cover-ups, perversion, and embarrassment. One path forward might be for Cook County citizens to form an alternative organization to support Republican efforts, one actually rooted in principle. Ideally, that means biblical values, but frankly, any guiding principle would be an improvement over the party's current perverse state. It's not healthy for any community, liberal or conservative, to function under a one-party system. As it stands, the Cook County GOP seems built to drive people out, trading integrity for scraps of power, corruption, and insider deals. This is IllinoisRecord.com.
I was sleeping and
Sorry.
I woke up and I don't know. I just entered Clubhouse. Yakov left.
Yeah.
How are you?
Coming along, and you?
What did you say?
I said, I'm okay, and you?
I'm okay. Just woke up in the middle of the night. I'm preparing to my trip.
Where are you going? I think you mentioned to me a few months ago, but I forgot where.
To Spain.
Now I actually do remember.
Sorry?
Actually, now I do remember you mentioned Spain.
Nice. It will be in 3 weeks, less than 3 weeks. In a 3 week, and it will be 4 months and 5 days, more than 4 months.
You're going for more than 4 months?
No, months and 5 days.
Okay, a bit over a month. Okay, got it.
Over months. Yes, not number 4 like FOR. Like over.
It's okay. It's not you. It's me. I'm also absolutely exhausted. So.
What happened?
No, I just been. It's been a really busy week. Next week will be even busier, and yeah, it's just how it is this time of year. And I'm having family coming in already on Monday, so I gotta really get on top of my game.
Family from where?
Israel.
They will come to US. Nice.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Just for visiting?
Well, for the Chag.
For holidays and stuff.
Yeah. So I really got to speed it up. Yeah.
Okay, it's nice. You didn't see them a long time?
One of them I saw actually, where are we? This is March. One of them I saw July, August. And so now 1, 2, 3, 4 are coming in. So yeah.
I will also check out soon. Amos is still here?
I mean, it's an interesting question.
דניאל, סליחה, אני קצת... אתה יכול להעיף מפה מישהו אם היא מקליד את השיחות? בבקשה, דניאל.
מה הבעיה שתקליט את השיחות? מה, אתה אומרת פה סודות מדינה?
לא, כן, היא צודקת, הוא מקליט וזה.
זה חידוש של עמוס, הנה עמוס ער, אז עמוס, בבקשה את כולך.
זה בסדר, מקליטים.
שניהם אני מכיר, שניהם אין לי בעיה איתם.
עמוס, אני פורש תכף, אז אם אתה רוצה לתת למישהו, אז תתן.
מה שאני עושה במצב כזה, אני פשוט מי שבחדר, אוכל אותם, אני עושה אותו מודרייטר, רוצים תפתחו חדר.
תיתן לי, לא רוצה, אני גם יוצאת.
לא שאלתי אותך.
אוקיי, אני יוצאת עוד דקותיים, אבל לא שווה.
את יכולה לעשות מה שאת רוצה.
טוב, אני ממש. אז בסוף אני אסגור את החדר.
And that's when you say, you see, that's what you said. But when they see it, that's when.
Exactly. So you shut your mouth and you listen to the Christian, because Muhammad tells you to do so. From your own Quran, you see. But then again, I'm going back to the Quran. I'm not going back to the Bible. I'm not going back to. Jeremiah chapter 31. Jeremiah chapter 31, verse 31 through 34. This is the new covenant, etc. No, okay, I'm not doing that. He's a Muslim. He doesn't know what Jeremiah is to begin with. This is right. So I do that with the Jews. I do Well, I mean, it makes sense, man. Christians are.
This is IllinoisRecord.com. Breaking news. Thanks to everyone sharing yesterday's article. Sean Morrison resigned as Cook County GOP chair.
The Jew is the slave.
For such materialistic things.
They're slaves to sin. They're slaves to sin.
This sin, they're a slave to the earth in a way. Every time I think about stuff they believe in, I don't understand it. Like
right. Well, I mean, you can check the writings of Saint Paul, Romans chapter 7. Who will deliver me of the body of death? Only through Jesus Christ. So we are slaves to Christ, and by being so, we have been freed. They are slaves to other things. Regardless, you're a slave. That's how I see it. So, as Christians, it goes without. It's not. I'm not smart because I'm smart. No, I'm smart because I'm Christian. This is how I see it.
Because you take your time, grow in your relationship with Christ now,
Oh, I'm not the best. I'm not the best. I'm actually one of the biggest sinners. Actually, I'm just not radical. So,
we're all not gonna be perfect. We're not Jesus, but we're human. That's part of it.
No, I would say, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I'm not trying to be humble. Believe me, I'm really not trying to be humble. Yeah, I do believe I'm a much bigger sinner than most people who call themselves Christian.
Yeah. But you have an understanding, you're willing to, acknowledge that, learn, and also go along with you,
Yeah, but I'm not very repentant. That's the issue. Like, I know what I do is wrong. For example, fornication. I know fornication is wrong, but I still do it.
Okay, how's your
I fornicate. Have you heard of the story of Saint Maximus
how's your
and
day
how he
going?
conquered the demon of fornication?
Free tonight or
we don't have the same answer. I'd like to learn though.
Oh, you do have Saint Moses.
Moses?
Saint Moses. Moses the Black. Moses the Ethiopian.
Oh, yeah.
I love Saint Moses is one of my favorite saints. Anyways, he also defeated the demon of fornication. Yeah, I think the demon of fornication is the biggest one, dude. This is the big
This is
boss.
IllinoisRecord.com. Breaking news. Thanks to everyone sharing yesterday's article. Sean Morrison resigned as Cook.
But if you were truly repentant, what does it mean to repent? To change your mind, right? And if you change your mind, then your action changes. My action hasn't been,
Yeah, I'm gonna give you a little clap. Feel me?
This is IllinoisRecord.com. Breaking news.
True repentance to Christ is changing your ways. A lot of people don't mention that a lot of the time,
Yeah, but I'm not changing that. But that's what I'm telling you is I'm not changing my ways.
Yeah, but at least you've taken one step forward. You can at least say, "Hey, I'm in the wrong."
I can definitely say I'm in the wrong. My only maybe I'm a little bit too hard on myself spiritually, but my only contention with myself would be then, if you truly believe you're wrong, why don't you change it? You say, I changed that, but not so much. That's what I'm telling you. The demon of fornication is the big boss, dude. It is, actually. How old are you?
Yeah, I'm 20, bro.
You're 20. Well, you have a lot of. Dude, you should get married, man. You should get married young so that you're not stuck in a loop of fornication. I'm just letting you know, dude. Letting you know.
I'm already trapped.
Oh, you already fell? Okay.
I'm not gonna see you. I'm not gonna see you act like an innocent child either. You feel me? But I'm young.
Yeah.
I'm young right now, but it's like I've grown past this point in time. But my understanding of fornication is different though.
What's your understanding of fornication?
I take it like this, right? It's very. So
before you tell me, are you gonna go Protestant right now?
I don't know, to be honest, maybe.
You have your own definition of. Okay, go ahead. What is fornication?
I wouldn't say my own definition of fornication, but like how I handle it in my eyes, right? I see people as people at the end of the day, right? No one's gonna be perfect, right? So take it like this, right? We're all gonna die at some point in time in our lives, It's making sure that our souls are, going to the right place, we're in line with God, So, I think like this fornication is stupid in my eyes because let's say I'm going out, doing these things with different girls, right? I'm wasting my time when I could just have one single one. You feel me? But this one single one, it doesn't matter. Even if you had 10 different ones, right? They're all the same. People are people at the end of the day. Like,
are they the same? I'm not sure if they're the same, because if they're the same, then why would you only have one?
That's the thing. It doesn't matter what it is. It's you pick and choose. People are gonna bring problems to your table. You choose what you want to pick, right? But just pick something that you can handle, and make sure you have. First thing, you need to have Christ in your relationship. You need to be able to like you and your partner should always be talking about God. You know, have an understanding together. You know, what y'all should be doing together. If you don't bring Christ into your relationship and Christ into every single thing that you do inside your every single day of life, it can throw you off track.
That's right.
Even
so what does that mean? That means you need a Christian girl.
Yeah.
So finding a Christian girl isn't so easy for them. That's number one.
Yeah, that's the hard. Well, to be honest, not for me, because in a way, I've met some, and it's more just showing them. The thing is, you have as a man, you're supposed to lead. It says that inside in Proverbs too, and so.
Yeah, no, I get you. I mean, I'm not here to discourage you. I mean, you can go to church, go to church, and whatever. So these things are doable. It's more like, okay, so you got that one woman. Okay. Now the demon of fornication. The demon of fornication attacks you in many different ways. For example, you got that one woman. Okay, that's good. That's great. That's amazing. Okay, what if I tell you that you're gonna lust after other women? So on and so forth. Like it's not an easy. I'm just telling you, man. The demon of fornication is the big boss, and so I think that you need to let these temptations minimize the possibility of these temptations from arising. Like don't. I mean, you know Saint Moses, but do you know the story of Saint Moses?
If you could tell me a little bit, I promise you, I'll probably know. I don't know.
Well, part of the story of Moses is that he kept provoking the demons. So, in other words, he kept putting himself in places where temptation is highest, and his abbot told him, stop provoking the demons, lest they take the best. Do the best. I don't know how to say it in English. Basically, they'll mess you up. Okay.
This is IllinoisRecord.com.
And Saint Moses said, "I will not stop provoking them until they stop showing up." So, in other words, I have to translate it in layman's terms. You struggle from the demon of fornication. Okay. So what Moses did is he went to a strip club. Let's say he goes to a strip club and he doesn't engage. For example, instead of avoiding the strip club, he goes to a place where the temptations are highest, and he does so. So for him, it worked out. For him,
And the investigation into whether a sonic weapon was used by security forces on people protesting government corruption. A progressive Serbian opposition party alleged that a sonic weapon, a class not included.
This is IllinoisRecord.com.
Social media, even if you're watching TV, they'll make it.
This is how legends are made. This is how legends are made.
To the demon of fornication, we are all forced to be Saint Moses.
Quite professional.
There is no way for you to escape it. Wherever you go, temptation, even if you go to the desert, temptation will follow you through the internet. So the only way basically is go to the desert and don't have internet.
Legends.
Right. But you should look into the story of Moses, man. The story of Moses is the best. I love the story.
This is IllinoisRecord.com. Breaking news.
Yeah. I was thinking Revelations, right? Do you like Revelations? Do you like the end times? Like.
This is how legends are.
The book of Revelation.
Yeah.
I mean, usually it's the Protestants who are all about the book of Revelation. I am not that guy, because you don't know when the end of times happen, right? Remember, Jesus said that it will come like a thief at night. You don't know the hour.
Nancy, look up.
You should live as if it will happen. Now, and that, as far as I'm concerned, this is what concerns me is that, and I'm doing a horrible job at it, obviously, but I don't really like to get lost in the weeds of Revelation because it's a very complicated book, and to understand Revelation, you need to understand the Torah, and you need to understand the prophet, especially Daniel, and you need to understand a lot of things in the Old Testament, and then you need to understand a lot of things in the New Testament. The Revelation is not an easy book.
Yeah, but can I shoot my shot at something? The mark of the beast.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, but you better be careful. You better be very careful because it literally says that there's a curse on anyone who adds or subtracts from this prophecy. That's why I'm telling you, like, it's ideally you don't play with.
Nancy, look out when you come to Chicago GOP event.
It's because of the beast, and he said that it's going to be on your hand and on your forehead. You talk about on your mind.
This is IllinoisRecord.com. Breaking news. Thanks to everyone sharing yesterday's article. Sean Morrison resigned as Cook County GOP chair. Rejected by both liberals and conservatives, Sean Morrison resigns 1 year before his term was set to end. Thanks to your continued support and attention, our reporting has once again made an impact. Sean Morrison, the pedophile defending Cook County GOP chair, has officially resigned. 1 year before his term was set to end, he leaves office in disgrace.
Also an action.
I would say,
And not only that, it's the mark of the beast in that sense is a thought, but it's also an action, but also.
Nancy, look out when you come to Chicago GOP event.
What is it?
Without it, you can't live.
Yeah, but you can't live because you can't transact, basically you can't do anything. So what is it? What is that?
This is IllinoisRecord.com. Breaking news.
Which I cannot transact. I can't think of something.
The worship of things outside Jesus, outside of thinking. At the same time, there's so many other ways that you go about it. Because you can worship so many other things without worshiping God. You can worship money and you deliver.
So I disagree with that, and let me tell you why. So that does sound fine and dandy, except I have one problem with that.
Yeah.
Which is that then, by that token, at the end of times, you cannot be a Christian.
Yeah.
But I disagree with that. I think everyone is tempted to the best of their ability, but each person has a way to succeed in this temptation.
Yeah.
So, but what you're saying is there's no way. If that is the case, then I cannot be a Christian at the end of times. But in this case, then what's the point of rapture? What's the point of then? In other words, no one gets saved at the end of time, because they all are fallen. It just doesn't make sense to me, that whole thing.
I wouldn't say everything like take it like this, right? I wouldn't say everyone's fallen, right? Just because you're doing those things, right? Because but one thing is, okay, so take it like this, right? Without the worship of money, right? Take it like this, right? We need money to live at this current point in time. If we're to live inside, a country like America, right? There's no living off the land. You have to live off money. These certain things that, these things are kind of left in your hands anyway, regardless.
That's right.
Yeah. And so, in a way, I don't know. That's my I wouldn't say it's like this is. I'm just heads up for the whole room. This is not like this out of the thing. Like it's my own random understanding, trying to put the pieces together.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with trying to piece things together. I mean, I told you what my issue with that would be, is the fact that, like, for example, I think a better way to look at it, and again, I'm not saying that is what it is, but a better way to look at it is the Jews. Yeah. With the tefillin on their heads, with the whole thing on their hands, and without their backs, you cannot transact. That makes more sense than because again, we're saying that
Gary Rabin and Aaron Delvar, legends.
It's a world where you can be a Christian, however, you will have a very horrible life. It should be very difficult to be a Christian. That's why it should be very few.
This is IllinoisRecord.com. Breaking news. Thanks to everyone sharing yesterday's article. Sean Morrison resigned as Cook County GOP chair, rejected by
many will call my name, but like a lot won't a lot won't make it. Something
Exactly.
like that.
Exactly.
So it's like my understanding of it is very I would say very strange in a way.
Oh, sorry. There's Frankie in the audience. No, I get you, man. I honestly don't know what to tell you. Like, I don't know what it is. I can't even speculate because everything I speculate about, there's no rules. I would suggest you forget about Revelation. I mean, read it. Just don't hyper focus on it. That's what the Protestants do. And you know why they like it? Because it's something that didn't happen yet. So there's a lot of room for speculation, and that's all they do. But that's not what we do. We go by the church. Like, your church is different than mine, and Frankie here, his church is different. However, we all have, like, I'm Eastern Orthodox, you're Oriental, Frankie is Eastern Catholic. Regardless, we all have a church that we go by. Wa alaikum afdal as-salam. So, so I would rather not, I would really rather worry on what will happen and how it will happen, because being successful, we don't worry about these things, right? You should worry about your present. The only thing that exists is the now.
Just how I live my life right now.
That's right. For example, Frankie is wasting his time every day. True.
And I have one problem.
That's right.
Princessa, can you fucking remove the Catholic from your biography?
Yeah, Princess is a Muslim, but she claims to be a Catholic. And she believes Muhammad is a prophet, but she claims to be a Catholic. What do you think about that?
Muhammad is not a prophet.
I know he's not.
I don't care if she is or not. I respect you. But the thing is, if you mix everything with my religion, then I have a problem with it. She can believe whatever she wants. I mean, I don't have any problem.
No, but Muhammad is a prophet.
My brother will leave that. So let her believe
Muhammad is
whatever
not a
she
prophet.
wants. My brother, she's I think she needs to take. Go ahead.
It doesn't make any sense. Like, you came in this room, you came in hot. It doesn't make any sense. You're trying to
Listen, I've been here all day,
something else.
in and out. But how am I holding her
It doesn't
responsible?
matter. Tatum comes in here very rarely.
Right, exactly. That's the whole point, that you don't know what me and Jazzy talk about. Me and Jazzy always talk about other rooms to each other. So you think I'm not holding her responsible for anything. I am just airing my grievances. You're not ever in here. I'm in here every day.
You are not in here every day.
Well,
fuck
great.
that.
So then you just need to be on mute and not even like.
Oh, don't even play that shit with me, because
No, but
half
you
the
don't even
time
know what
you
you're
don't
talking
even
about.
like Jazzy, so don't say that you.
How do you know who I like and who I don't like? If I didn't like Jazzy, I wouldn't be in here, weirdo.
Jazzy.
If I didn't like her, I wouldn't be in here.
Yes, I'm just over here water flossing.
That's
Hello.
Good.
What's up, guys?
Jasmine, look what you went, dear. Jazzy, you know what? I'm holding you responsible. How dare you, Jazzy?
Okay. Listen,
You
you guys.
Before Big Love
no, we got
You're responsible.
You guys are so mad. What are you guys yelling and mad
It's
about?
your fault, Jazzy. Whoever says shit to me, you need to put it in your room and talk about it. I demand you. The fuck? Talk about everything else.
You don't demand
You better talk about it.
Yeah, you don't can demand anything of Jazzy. Okay. How dare you?
You better do what I say, because I don't like it. I got a problem with it. It is an issue.
Wild ass circus shit in my list.
Why do people just blame everything on Jazzy when she wasn't even there?
Yeah, it's your fault, Jazzy.
You know what? Where's the suitcase?
Now you better
Jasmine.
I'm trying. Can you call me my name?
Yeah.
It's Jasmine. It's not Jasmine.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
You know what? That's all right.
Dr.
You
Jasmine.
take up your grievance. Take up your grievance with Tato. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say.
I
Yes,
did.
if you want to be disrespectful, just take up your grievance. Like, you don't have to call me out. My name's Jasmine.
Dr. Jasmine, actually.
No, my name is Jasmine.
Oh, I thought you were a doctor.
You didn't think that, did you?
Yeah, you said you had a PhD.
Oh. You're being funny now.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
I do, but listen.
What a little faggot he is, too.
Listen, when you get Keegan and Tato all in one room. Oh, there goes Edmund right there. He could tell me what happened.
Edmund, can you come up here, please?
Yeah.
Okay. You were in earlier. Remember when Tato said horrific things about Keegan's daughter?
Yeah, that was a long time ago, wasn't it?
No, today.
Oh, I didn't hear any of that.
You were up on stage and then you got thrown into the audience.
I didn't hear Tato saying any. I wasn't in any rooms today with Keegan. Your brain, I know, is rotted, but I was not in any room with Keegan.
Yes, you were in there.
No, I wasn't. Believe me, if I was in a room with Keegan, my brain would have an aneurysm. I'd remember it.
And KP was modded too.
Are you trying to cover for yourself or something? Is that what's happening here? Because I have old friends that have tried to pull the same game with me, and they were in the wrong, not me.
I swear that I thought you were in there, and I was hoping that you had it recorded.
Don't you record everything and live stream it to TikTok? Why don't you have it?
You know what? I guess I dropped the ball.
You dropped the ball, as usual.
Yep, right when it counted. Fuck. See, everyone says I was recording. Why wouldn't I have that? Fuck. Well, you suck. So you suck.
Edmund, did you hear it or not? Are you just trying to cause dissension?
No, I didn't hear anything this morning. I was busy recording Diego's room.
Yeah, I mean, in all fairness, he has like 100 rooms going on in the hallway. Screaming, and I'll pop in to brace my hand, and I know he's not even staring at that like phone, because he doesn't bring me up.
No,
I'm not gonna lie. My spirit of discernment is off right now. I don't know who's telling the truth.
I'm telling the truth. There's this prank caller called Longmount Potion Castle, and he prank calls people, and basically he's a crazy person and he talks to crazy people, pissing them off. And that's essentially what Clown House is. It's just a roast and a prank call show and bad takes and, you know, people drunk and people saying stupid stuff, wasting their time. There's nothing to do. And so, you know, I would really encourage you to start creating shorts of the most toxic, highly deranged, retarded people that you can find. And it turns out it's pretty funny. YouTube seems to like it.
Okay.
But you just have to use hashtag comedy, hashtag prank calls, hashtag comedy shorts. Like, comedy's a big part of communication, and YouTube as well, but there's no other reason to be on this app unless you're recording, you know, people being insane and stupid.
So, did you hear Tato say that or not?
No, but no, I didn't hear that today. I did not.
And?
What's up? You didn't hear it. That's fine. I thought that he was in there, and I mean, he might not have been listening. That's fine.
Definitely said Edmund was in there with all of his pages.
That can happen. I think that, but he hasn't.
And not one was in them.
So yeah.
Wow.
Tomorrow during the day, you know, Keegan and Tato will both be in here. So that's fine.
Keegan doesn't come on the weekend. We have to wait till Monday.
Oh, shit. Yeah, that's true. Well, Zach will be on here. Why?
Well, unless his wife goes to brunch with her homegirls again, you can come.
Well, Zach will be on.
Who is Zach?
Trash bag. He's going by my friend the trash bag.
Zach LaRuda.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And KP too. They're just not on right now.
KP's mad at you.
Yeah,
were there.
Yeah.
All your fault.
Benji wanted
KP
to say
mad at
something.
who?
Me.
Why? Don't laugh. Spit it out.
When that thing happened with Doc, he was coming around asking me what happened, saying he didn't know, but he was repeating everything Sig said to me. So I was like, bro, why you acting like you don't know? Like, what the fuck is going on? You know or not? But how did that make him pissed off at you, though?
I do get.
Because I cursed him out.
Wait a minute.
I said, get Sig dick out your fucking mouth and your ass, you
Oh my god.
Man, listen, I tried. And then last night he did the same thing with Miss Beth. He tried to tell me Miss Beth probably was trying to.
Lord.
Yep, exactly. I wouldn't even let him talk. He was like, listen. I was like, no. Then when I wouldn't let him talk, he goes, I don't give a fuck anyway. I was like, so then why the fuck are you talking about it? I was so mad.
You should have said, go fuck yourself, KP.
See, I think she might have somewhere in there.
Yo, I played the clip for him. That shit was so funny. Now Miss Beth talking about, all I said was, you're not my doctor. And I said, you didn't say that the first time. Right. First time. That whole clip of Miss Beth reminded me of Friday when the nigga be like, when Devo be say shut the fuck up, I shut the fuck up. But when he leave, I be talking again.
You better tuck that chain ring and stop moving.
Oh, and it's like, you want some too, old man? No. That was me. I don't go in sick rooms. Do I want some? No. I ain't going in there. I ain't going on that stage. The fuck? Yeah, that shit was so fucking crazy, bro. I didn't even mind. It was just her, like, coming around. Hey, Jazzy, too. How you doing?
You know, the car, you know, the color of the
you just messed up.
Right. Okay. Once again, you can't let me complete a single sentence. I don't know.
No, keep talking. Just keep talking.
You have the self-control of an 8-year-old, Jerbal. You have the self-control of a fucking 8-year-old.
You keep talking.
You have the self-control of an 8-year-old, Jerbal. Jerbal, you're a child in a man's body. You have the self-control of a fucking 8-year-old, Jerbal. You're a fucking childish person with no fucking self-control.
Is that how you want to get? I wanted you to explain, so it's working.
What I was going to say is that
Edomite attack.
Or Scott Mods. Jesus has olive skin.
Well, okay. Obviously, olive skin is the color of, many white people. However, if I say as if they burned in a furnace, that's like saying as if they were burning in a furnace, not as if they had burned previously and were finished burning. Like the burning, the quality is like that of brass that is.
Yeah, I can see why you interrupted Mark. This is getting really boring.
Ouch.
So is burning brass really light, and that's why?
Why am I not a mod, Andrew?
I don't know. Do you think I would get yelled at by Sash?
Is this Sasha's house?
I know.
No? Who cares?
The entire surrounding context of Revelation 1:15 is written in past tense. So, I mean, the fact that they use the word burned rather than burning doesn't mean that the burning had finished by the time Jesus showed up, right? That's not how, the grammar of past tense works.
The vision was in the past.
You
That's
talking to
why
me?
the past tense was used.
Yeah, like
Bird is still ED. I don't care how you cut it.
okay,
Bird ED is past tense.
okay,
Yeah,
but
it doesn't matter how you
the entire context is past tense, so it's describing something that happened at the same time as everything else. So when Jesus,
So why are you arguing it though?
do you really? I mean, can you not follow a point? I'm saying it's describing Jesus contemporaneously with him showing up as having feet like unto burning brass, i.e., extraordinarily blindingly bright.
It never says ing. It says ed.
But okay, so let me give you a really simple analogy. Okay, well, no. If you
Go ahead.
once again, yeah, thank you. If I say to you, the dog, the dog walked into the store and it's burned black, or sorry,
As a design.
I know. I'm sorry.
I keep trying to help you out of the kerfuffle you keep putting yourself in, but you go ahead. I'm listening.
Thanks. I appreciate the patience. Again, if I'm telling an anecdote in past tense, it doesn't mean that if I use the word ed, that it occurred before the rest of the story, that's in past tense. What you need is that the burning process of the brass in the analogy was completed and it was burned, after he showed up. But all of it's in past tense. So the burning process, that's contemporaneous with the rest of the story, namely Jesus showing up.
Oh, so yeah, it says burned. It's ed. It's past tense.
Look at my red hair. I'm
Michael
the
Jordan
same
shot
color
the
as
winning
fucking.
shot in the 98.
I'm Esau. I'm Esau's race. I'm the same race as Esau. Whereas you're fucking a black guy.
You are Esau. That's true.
Is that Sam?
I look just like fucking Esau.
You really
look at me.
Of course it's Sam. Never thought of that before.
I look just like fucking Esau, and you're out here trying to claim that you are the same race as fucking Esau when he's a fucking ginger like me. It's fucking crazy, bro.
Why would I claim to be Esau? God hates Esau.
Esau is the same race as Jacob. Esau is the same race as fucking Jacob. Esau is the same race.
He's not though.
They are literally brothers. They're literally brothers.
Well, let's read. Let's read. We read Genesis 25. Let's
Hold
see.
on, can I say something before y'all read? Because I'm about to
see what God says.
I'm about to go through a tunnel, and I just want to add a point to that burnt conversation, because I was talking to a brother about this before. If that scripture is talking about Jesus being black, then it would be important for the scripture to say as if it had burned.
Exactly. I pointed that out.
It says burn, so it's actually that color that Jesus would have been in that scripture is like an amber color, like when a chalk burns on a grill. It wouldn't be black or white. It would be like an orange color or an amber color, because it's actually glowing. It's burning when the Revelator saw this express glorified image of the so-called Jesus. So I know a lot of people use that to say that he was black and stuff like that, but the racist arguments, I don't even deal with the Bible. I don't subscribe to the Bible, no Abrahamic tradition.
Right.
But I think that's very poor scholarship to say that means he was black. That's not what that means.
And if the description in the rest of Revelation 1, was written in present or future tense, that would suggest that.
I think my position is the point.
See, that's the thing, and that's what makes you the greatest player of the game. Because you're the cheater, and I'm just playing. I got you though. I'll play the game though.
I'm looking like a Dodge. So watch how he Dodge. Do you believe in God?
Are you the observer?
Yes. Do you have any questions?
Who is your puppet master?
Who is my puppet master? Who says I have one?
Who is your puppet master?
Why do you feel like I have one?
I don't know. People who say, why do you think I have a puppet master? Usually those people are most unaware of the puppet master, meaning that the eternal one, you might not actually be united or connected to the eternal one. Thus, you don't know who your puppet master is. Let the game begin.
Who said there was ever one?
Let the games begin.
You searching for the puppet master to even find out who's the puppet master of your puppet master. Who's controlling you? What are you worried about the puppet master's puppet master when you have a puppet master? gotta get through me to get through the balls. Dodge. Hey, what's up going on?
Chilling, sitting in my car. So I was looking at the skydiving. They don't got none in New York. They only got one in Philly. It's 54 minutes away from my house.
Nah, I'll pop out to Philly. I'll come to Philly.
Yeah, they want like, let me see. They know about like almost 300. I found that in the coupons.
That sounds like a vibe.
Right. I mean, you know that shit expensive anyway.
Of course. Fuck it though.
Yeah, I just gotta I gotta wait. I gotta pay my son summer camp. Then after that, I should be good.
Up and away. Dodge, you ever jumped out of plane? Dr. Dodge.
What was that?
You ever jumped out of plane?
Oh, no, I haven't.
Is that something on your list?
Oh,
never thought of it.
no, I'm not down to
He
do
said
that.
no.
Yeah.
No, the thing is, you guys don't even do meditation. You've never even contemplated, the sky and outer space. Like, I have this.
I do yoga.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Well, I have this CD. It's called Blue Sky. And it's like a hypnosis CD that this Indian woman, put together. It is incredible. What you have to do is on a clear day, lay down, like in an open area and like listen to this Blue Sky hypnosis CD, and you will literally like disappear into the sky. It's really a trip because if all you see is the blue sky and this woman is like guiding you into the blue sky with this very powerful hypnosis, you basically, it's like going into one of those float labs, where you sit in saline solution so you feel weightless. That's basically what happens. It's a nice feeling.
Yeah, I'll explore that. I'll check that out. I'll definitely do yoga. Definitely like meditating and stuff like that.
Yeah, yoga is amazing.
This is your CD. Like, what is CD at? What can I buy it?
I'll have to find it.
Yeah,
I bought it on eBay. You could go on eBay maybe and just type in Blue Sky Meditation, see what comes up. But if you do yoga, you know what you're really doing is like you're turning your energy on, and like turning your light switch on. And it's interesting because like as you're working out and doing, meditation or yoga and workout, like you're thinking about things. Like if you get on a treadmill, your brain will start acting like a computer and automatically start projecting and thinking as you're on the treadmill, or on a power walk.
Sometimes I'll be smiling when I'm on that treadmill because it's like, wow, this is fascinating what I'm doing right now.
Yeah, it's amazing because like what you're doing is you're speeding up your breathing and your metabolism and your heart rate and your blood pressure. So what you're doing is like you're doping your brain, and suddenly if you're not like looking at a screen. I mean, even if you're looking at a screen, it doesn't matter. Your brain starts thinking about things in the background automatically and starts projecting and processing.
Well, sure, the same way with the Stairmaster.
Yeah, exactly. Any cardio,
I feel like that when I'm jumping rope. They get me in that. They get me very, very steady.
Yeah, they call it walking Zen. Like people use a power walk to do contemplation or meditation, basically. It's just walking meditation or cardio meditation. Benji, have you ever heard of the hymn to Pan?
No, sir.
Okay, I'll read you. Do you want to hear the whole thing, or do you want to hear a part of it?
You can do part of it.
Okay, this is the last part. It says, now I think this is like a hypnosis that, you know, hypothetically brings in the spirit or awakens your kundalini. It says, give me the sign of the open eye and the token erect of thorny thigh and the word of madness and mystery. O pan, eo pan, eo pan, eo pan, 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 pan. I am a man. Do as thou wilt, as a great God can. O pan, eo pan, eo pan, eo pan, pan. I am awake in the grip of the snake. The eagle slashes with beak and claw, the gods withdraw. The great beasts call me, O Pan. I am born to death on the horn of the unicorn. I am Pan, O Pan, O Pan, Pan, Pan. I am thy mate, I am thy man. Goat of thy flock, I am gold, I am God, flesh to thy bone, flower to thy rod. With hoofs of steel I race on the rocks through solstice up unto equinox, and I rave and I rape and I rip and I rend, everlasting, world without end. Mannequin maiden, maned man in the might of Pan, O Pan, O Pan, 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 O Pan. So that's the second part of the poem.
Nah, that was good though. I ain't gonna lie. I was laughing because I like how you did that voice and sing it off. That was what's up.
Yeah, that's my hypnosis voice. Like, you have to find a flow with the words, and if you can read that, you know, I record all this stuff on YouTube, but it's really a doc. Any book you can do that with, but basically, what you're trying to do is neurolinguistically program yourself or dialectically therapize yourself. It's just a way to create balance with wise words, you know, or just for fun or hypothetical, but
You say hypnosis a lot. Can you hypnotize people?
if you just say the word hypnosis over and over again in a conversation, you will naturally hypnotize somebody. The word hypnosis is, it's such a trick word, you know, because it's like it's auto hypnosis. So it's kind of a funny thing to do.
So it's like just saying it right there, just hypnotize somebody without even knowing they're hypnotized.
Yeah, I heard some guy say his best pickup line is he goes up to a woman and he says, "Excuse me, can I ask you a question?" She says, "Sure." He says, "Can you pretend that you're hypnotized?" So, you know, people on this app, they debate words for a long time, and they demand that their definition of a word is the definition of that word. But everybody knows what the word hypnosis means.
Right.
Or they think they do. But there's another word, gnosis, Gnosis. You know, that's the interesting one. That's what documents like that can do. I think some documents are, you know, you could just go to ChatGPT and ask it to write you a a God hypnosis
these people
script.
know. These people know. People are telling me because they know I'm rolling the cameras and putting this, getting paid. I'm about to start getting paid for these people. They starting to tell me like, hey man, if you gonna have me recording and me screaming and getting into the game, I gotta get paid. I said, you wanna argue in words and stuff? It's not me telling you. You like to do this, so it's just an extra camera rolling.
Yeah, cameras are rolling.
That's all I tell people.
It's a great saying. Cameras are rolling.
Cameras are rolling. They hate that saying. You just keep coming up to my cameras are rolling.
Yeah, with that, Elon Musk at his failure event in Wisconsin, he said that it's very hard to create meaningful value in the business, marketplace. It's extremely difficult to create value. So if you look at this app as being a total communication dysfunction, basically the reading of poetry is like one way to create value on here, but you can export value from here to other platforms. And if there is no real value in this app in terms of what people are talking about, I don't know, because the more hyperbolic the speech, the better it does on YouTube in terms of stickiness. Like if somebody hears, a hood fight or some insane fight, or some ghetto trash person, it doesn't matter the race, got a terrible accent or a crazy accent, and they're saying something hyperbolic, like those audio clips do well on YouTube. But you just don't know how the algorithm is going to hit. I will say timing on YouTube seems to be the biggest factor. Like if you get your videos in by 8 a.m., there's a greater chance that you're going to get distribution. And then there's the lunch crowd and then the evening crowd. You have 3 windows a day to essentially republish Clubhouse content, But truth is, it's all useless because publishing other high value content is good, but again, that's why I say the hyperbolic. If you're really looking to try to monetize and you're really looking to try to make money with Google, like, I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out, and I can't, I could put together a list of like tips, but it's not, it's all just suggestions, because it's all suggestions. YouTube is so big. It's like what I'm doing is not hitting in terms of getting subscribers, because I'll see the craziest YouTube accounts with like hundreds of thousands of subscribers and they're monetized, and it is the most crazy shit you've ever seen. I just saw a YouTube account today of a kid with a disability staring off into the sky making mud bricks. He's got like 100,000 subscribers. His whole life is just making mud bricks and putting it on YouTube, and he's able to actually be 8,000 times more successful than me. So how far does intelligence really go? I don't know.
Oh, okay, but Dr. Wisdom, the real question is, the fans want to know, will the fans get a Dr. Benji x Dr. Wisdom collaboration world movie premiere?
We've been collaborating for weeks now. Him, me, and Honey Badger.
The room you guys previously did that one night was good. And I think to sensationalize more content, you guys should get the most unhinged people on a topic that people are just gonna go off the rails and both record it and make clips for YouTube.
I got it in my notes every day. Like I literally got notes of these things with these people, and then me as the observer, I just go around in different rooms, just talk to them, and just bring them along, and they just end up scattering their way in here. And I'm just silent. I'm a silent warrior. They just come, talk, and the game begins. And I just let it sit there and go out.
Yeah, I know this.
I'm just at the drawing table, to be honest. I'm just trying to orchestrate it, how I want to put it together to actually just put this to the world and just show people how these crazy maniacs are just screaming to the top of their mic, or they try to kill and argue over nothing. Just nothing at all. But it's gonna come true sooner or later. I just gotta see how I'm gonna put it together. But yeah, me and Dodge been working, man, without even people see it. Oh man, the games is always rolling and the campus is always there.
So I've like totally rebranded all my stuff. It's like everything is Republican now. I'm changing over all my handles. I've got a lot of things going, like Republican Film, Republicans Corp. The whole thing is like a long-term play, essentially. Like, I want to create a whole bunch of Democrat, uh, you know, digital media handles as well, and tons of content as well, for Democrats as well, because it doesn't make a difference. Um, it's better to just have content for both parties, but man, it's tough, when you get labeled as spam and they delete your account, or I've had, how many times I've had Instagram like make me send in my driver's license? It's such a waste of time. There's like 4 levels of verification, but because I'm an actual congressional candidate now, if they do delete my content for whatever reason, or somehow it gets complaints and gets deleted, I can always just like send them my FEC filing and threaten to sue them. But threats of lawsuits don't go very far. Nobody understands that. I'll sue you! I'm gonna sue you! That's about as far as they're gonna get.
Yeah, it's Friday. We need to heat up the clubhouse streets and get a good room going. So, Dr. Wisdom, I was listening to your last room with the secret Islamic recordings. That was a good episode. That was a good episode.
Did you actually go back and listen to a replay?
I was listening to it live. I think you got kicked.
I don't know which account that's on, but let me see which account.
Yeah, I'm stopping Dr. Wisdom rooms. Probably come over there, collab with him, and bring some people in there to start up a game. See who wins.
I just did Muslims Islamists podcast Stop Terrorism. Where's the Islamic terrorists, clubhouse jihadists.
You just gotta let me know when you're in there, and I'll come stop through.
Secret Muslims. Let's see the comedy one. It's too bad that this app doesn't like actually store all your rooms anymore.
What you mean?
Just go to your profile. Like, I've done. It's scary how many rooms I've done, but I've done thousands of rooms, and on your profile it only shows 10 of your most recent rooms. There's like no way to actually view your library of recordings on this app anymore. It only stores like 10 of them, unless
I'll be seeing them when I press my house.
You see them in the house?
Yeah, when I press my house, I see them. They all in there.
Let me see.
I'm watching them right now. I can see them.
Oh, that's interesting.
You gotta like press the house, scroll down, and say recent replays.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy. I never knew that.
Oh,
I'm looking at all my rooms. I'm like, holy shit, they're all in here. Holy shit.
Yeah, see, now you know.
Oh my god, Keegan versus Brad, Clown House, Morons. I want to see who's like been playing my replays. That's what I'm gonna investigate later. That'll be fun.
Yeah, I was looking at that. What's up, Peter?
It's a good app, man. Do you know this app was valued at $4 billion at one point? $4 billion.
$4 billion?
Yeah, that's what the news said. I read an article today from I think 2021. They could have sold this thing, but the whole thing just uh, in terms of there's a lot of factors, like, who knows what's going to happen with this thing, but they're making money apparently off the data. That's what it is. The whole thing seems to be the data, which I think is just like special relationships. Like they're selling the data because they got people that are just more than willing to just like keep passing them the money, even though they know the value. There's no real value in the data. It's just because it's all profile IDs. It's all just supposedly tied to your online shopping habits, you know. But there's like no military intelligence. There's political intelligence on here in terms of listening to both parties, but that would only apply to like political consulting, and that's so niche that it's just not happening here. I mean, this app is probably worth. I don't know how you could calculate it now, but you would just have to look at their earnings. But that's why I'm saying like YouTube, X, and Instagram are three huge platforms, and you can just pull out of this app and just pull and plug and re-platform content on here. People call it bootlegging. But just go on YouTube and just like type in Whack 100 and all that shit. It's like, holy shit. There's big rooms on here that do that.
We should try to get Whack 100 into a Dr. Wisdom room. I think we could make that happen. And because look, Dr. Wisdom, you remember when you called out Ion? You were like, Ion, why are you coming in there? Did you get after you said that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Look, if you get Ion into your room, they'll bring a lot of it.
I have prank called him so many times now. Who is this white boy motherfucker coming in my room fucking with me? Motherfucker.
If you get Ion, or I don't know if you can, but you could do a collab with Lou. Lou has big rooms too.
Yeah. There's, it is what it is. I'm just saying, I do the prank call show. Like, to have an actual long form conversation is just totally pointless. Because they're doing a show themselves. They have in their own minds a version of their shtick. And they think they know how to do a repeatable formula on what they're doing. But what they're really doing is just a roast show. It's the Gong Show every time. So it's comedy. It's the comedy Gong Show. Like that, Benji, that's my advice to you. Is like just do comedy. You're already doing it, you know. But I don't know, make it more obvious. Like just call it the Gong Show. Benji moderates the Gong Show and just let people, the nicest thing you can do for people is if you can actually let everybody speak and give them 60 seconds. That's the nicest thing. That's the nicest way to mod and create. It's just give everybody 60 seconds.
I dad be doing that, but when certain people coming in, I just let the chaos begin. But I dad be moderating, give people like a minute, 2 minutes to speak. And I be holding them down just to be nice.
What I'm saying is like if you're gonna film, let's say a room for an hour, like at some point you have to try to do the 60-second rule. But yeah, let the chaos, burn bright.
Yeah, I usually do like the two-way experiment. That's why people be coming. I do the first one, I modded 60-second, calm, everybody doing it. And then when the second experiment is just the chaos, when it just shows without my control, they just lead to destruction.
I think it's maybe surrealism. I'm not sure. Somebody in my YouTube wrote, I wonder if this is satire. The Jewish flag, veteran U.S. flag, and clown frog. His name is Seneca the Wise. Or Seneca the Great, I think. Benji's never read Seneca. I've read Seneca many times. So I'm just gonna take a quick sample here and see what they're saying. Here we go.
It's just you. We could actually no. Where I live in the Bay Area, I gotta start remembering. This is not LA. Like, this is not where the fuck I'm from. This is where like the suburbs of the fucking Bay Area. I'm not from here. Like, no. So I put that knife out the window, and they fucking got back on the. Y'all is crazy. I don't even be fighting with people on the road. Especially not down here. They will start shooting.
Bullshit. Bullshit.
I be cursing in my car. I don't be yelling at people outside my car.
Bullshit. Bullshit. Bullshit.
I'm scared.
It's the same thing, Jazzy.
What? I hold knives out the window.
Yo, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Jazzy, why you let Evan record me in here saying that? I didn't even know he was in here recording me when I said that. I didn't know either. I'm not looking at the phone.
I can smell your foot through my phone. P.U.
Marshall, what's up, Marshall?
She's got a foot PTO.
Evan, how are those balls?
Hold on.
Did you say how those bottles?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
You know, I was thinking about my balls today.
Can you pick them out, Jazzy, please? One time for me, please.
One time.
Bye, Evan.
Bye, Edmund. Goodbye, Edmund.
Muhammad, assalamu alaikum.
But why is that an insult? Why do you think that's an insult?
Because you follow the aqidah of desert dwellers.
No offense. Wait, no offense. But Bedouins have better principles.
Assalamu alaikum!
Imagine glazing the Bedouins. Bro, you're cooked.
Can you cook this nigga?
Kick Prince. Kick Dr. Prince. He's a terrorist supporter. Kick him.
Shut the fuck up.
Anyway, would you actually like to know what Prince believes in makes more sense?
Prince believes in the aqidah of sand dwellers.
I know what he believes in.
Sand dweller.
It makes more sense than what you believe in.
Yes, I love my prophet, but I don't love the people who did bid'ah.
I don't understand people who what bid'ah? What bid'ah?
These aren't actual arguments. These
Yeah,
are just claims.
you're basically the entailments of your position lead to corporealism.
Yeah, but shit. Man, it's not looking good.
Y'all be putting the worst on white people like we ain't doing it to ourselves. Like, why y'all do that? What the fuck?
Because nobody wants to admit that everybody is their own worst enemy.
I added. Hey, what's up? Hey, I actually added Doge here. How you doing, bro?
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
I'm good. I'm good.
You know, this is so I'm actually it's like a weird mix between what Dunwitted was saying and also what Doctor was saying, and I do believe we got to give him some more time. You know, I think, well, actually, I know in what's today, the 4th, so in 2 days, that'll be officially Trump's first 90 days back in office.
It's 100 days, 101 days now.
Oh, 101. I thought he got it January 6th.
So why are we counting?
Well,
why are we counting? Why
I
are
think
we
we gotta give him some
putting
more
in
time.
the numbers? Is he supposed to go down?
But I will say this:
His name go
I think
down.
a lot of the stuff he has been doing
The economy.
has been radical to some extent, and it'll be interesting to see what happens moving forward. But I do believe this, though. I do think that some of y'all
black people did not vote him in it, so it's not black people's issue, is it?
I really believe
is it black
right now
people's issue?
in 2025, Trump could literally walk up into some of y'all people's houses, smack you in front of your father, And y'all would make an excuse as to
You
why
really
he did
believe
it.
that?
Maybe I did pay my rent on
Then
time.
America don't have no purpose.
Maybe
then.
I should have just.
If Donald Trump could do that,
some of y'all
then
like
America
when
has
I heard Joseph talking, it was everything else. And I want you to put this in perspective before you come at me. Let's just say Obama did half the shit that Trump was doing. Man, there would be no excuses. There would be no filibuster. They would be on his neck. They would be, Obama is trying to put black people, all the narratives would be crazy. But
But Mr. Shea, he said it though when he was running. He said when he first ran, he said that he could do anything he wants to do, and nothing's gonna happen. He could shoot people in the middle of Manhattan. He said that he loves his supporters because
always bring up personal weird shit, bro. Didn't Kamala say that she's not gonna do nothing for just black people? Did she say that?
Yeah,
and she don't get no pass for that. But that's the difference. Nobody over here is giving her a pass for that.
Not signing off on that.
Right. Nobody's signing off on that shit. But they make excuse after excuse after excuse.
I want to know, like, why? So what you think? So you think Trump ain't gonna do nothing for black people? What happened? What y'all want him to do?
I can't finish. So I'm gonna just say this. Again, look, no president's gonna say I'm gonna openly do anything for black people specifically. Like, that's just not, that's political. They're not gonna do that. But what I will say is this: the same criticism that we have of the other administration, which I do think is fair. I do think the things that Biden was doing was pretty egregious, as well as Kamala. I think we gotta hold Trump to a standard. I don't want it to be in America where this guy can literally do whatever. I mean, hell, you got an immigrant coming over here, and Elon, having all his fingertips into government information that people who actually work federally would have to spend an entire career just to even get a glimpse of. And he got that shit the first day of office. Like, does that not concern y'all?
Man, this dude put tariffs on the
highway.
I don't know.
The lawsuits that's against this man.
Wait a minute, this man put tariffs.
No, you're acting like he's literally doing whatever he wants to do, but clearly he can't. Like, these judges are literally. I don't know what he's doing. I see what he's doing.
He shouldn't be there.
But for me to presume as though I can read the man's mind, no, I'm not going there.
Wait a minute.
What are you talking about? I'm in America. You're talking about, so don't deal with America? What the fuck are you?
You don't make no sense.
Wait a minute. How would you upset?
This right here is the delusion, bruh. If you got a social security number, what you saying don't make no sense. I'm gonna just lay that there. Go ahead, you got it.
How would you upset over courts?
I like that. Even though I hate Trump, I like that.
How are you upset over rulings by courts? That's what the courts are for. The courts are there. They're stopgap.
I'm not upset about it at all. Why are you
I didn't say you.
I'm literally pointing out that he can't do what he wants to do.
I didn't say you. I said
You've been yelling at me all. You've been yelling at me all day. You've been coming at me all damn night.
I said him. Did I say you? I said him. Like, you really in your feelings right now. I said, how are you upset? I said, how is he
motherfucker, you got me there. Stop playing. Go ahead.
I said, how is he upset? What are you talking about?
I said you got it, bro. You got it after him. Let him be done. Let him be done with it. And then you got the mic.
What I'm saying is this here. I said, how is he upset? That's what I said, okay? I don't know why you're centering yourself. How is he upset, okay, over court ruling when that's what the courts are for. The courts are there to interpret the Constitution the right way and to be a check on the power of the executive branch, okay? It's one of their jobs. And when the court comes down with a ruling that says, hey, man, that's unconstitutional. You can't do that. Based on what the Constitution said, you can't do that. How the hell you get mad over that and tell about these judges need to be fired? That's fascism. That's fascism. Oh, you don't go along with what I say, well, you lose your job then. Regardless if your ruling is just, regardless if your ruling is within the bounds of our Constitution, our laws, the way it's laid down in the different articles, this, that, and the third, the amendments, this, that, and the third. Like, how you gonna talk about firing judges? This dude is showing some fascism type stuff. If people at the, and I'll land with this, at the press briefing don't capitulate to his wishes, well, you can no longer come to the press briefing anymore. That's fascism, and you guys are gonna be soft fascism, okay? And you guys are gonna make excuses for it because Donald Trump is your God, and your God, You're like a Christian person. Your God can do nothing wrong. You got an excuse for everything, no matter how egregious it may look and sound. Simple.
Well, wait, hold on. Do y'all think that America is at the point where we do need a strong authoritarian dictator government? And if y'all keep acting up, I'm gonna have to.
How vicious the U.S. went in? Did anyone care at that point? No. They went in and absolutely they called all the civilians out. They gave them the time, and they went in and they killed everything. No one cried about how they were handling that situation because you needed to do that in Fallujah. Same thing's happening here. I'd say on a harder scale because of the additional tunnels and the sheer scale of what they have to deal with within the rubble and within that urban environment. It's much more built up than Fallujah was. There wasn't as many tunnels in Fallujah. And I'd say that Hamas is a little bit more tenacious than what they were dealing with in Fallujah because those guys may have had an actual way to get out somehow. These guys not so much. So yeah, the commander has to say this. You are going into a house and you are shooting everything, destroying the vehicles. You do not care who's in there, what's in there, because the civilians should already be out. If they're not, they're being held there or they're being used to kill soldiers.
Some American people are not going to like.
By the way, Senator Alyssa Slotkin, whatever, isn't she the one who's the former CIA one, whatever her name is, right, who gave the video? And
Alyssa Slotkin.
Yeah.
CIA.
Yeah. So she came out and called them a white nationalist.
Recently about Alyssa Slotkin about somebody she was banging. I don't remember all the stories, but I think it was kind of interesting.
It's very funny. I don't.
Who knew that you could be Jewish and a white nationalist at the same time?
Listen, I am called a white nationalist on a daily basis.
I'm called Mossad.
I think every Trump supporter is pretty much called that on a daily basis.
It is because sometimes I've been listening to quite a few of these Christian nationalist pastors. Like 75% of the stuff that they talk about, I agree with. And then the 25%, I'm like, and now you went too far. So I get it why people would consider me a white Christian nationalist, even though I'm a nice Jewish girl. But it's just because
we knew it.
I know. I'm just a very super based conservative raised by Rush Limbaugh. And conservative media, but hear this and laugh at me. Anyways, it's like a joke. It's an inside joke. But anyways, yeah.
What the leftists do by calling everybody a white nationalist is make it really that much harder for us to call out actual people who are actual
white nationalists. Yeah.
Good Shabbos to all the Jews in the room.
Who brought you up?
Well, because all they do is deflect, though. That's their tactics. All they do is deflect everything. So.
Yeah, I can't take these people seriously. They're just obsessed. I don't understand why she would even go and talk about. Laura Loomer's suing right now Bill Maher as we speak today for $150 million in court. So I hope she collects all that money.
She should sue Slotkin too. I think people should just start suing everybody and their mother.
It's because people just say whatever they want. The defamation's insane. You can say a lot of things about what people say and do, but
Laura Loomer is a patriot. Without her, we wouldn't have Trump. She saved America single-handedly. Her reporting is especially unique and good. I know people just like her. She helped us get Trump. God bless America.
Without her, we wouldn't have Trump. She saved America single-handedly. Her reporting is especially unique and good. I know people just like her.
Yeah, okay. I didn't drop you, but somebody else did.
Wait, but I just wanted to state something you just, you're mentioning this whole Laura Loomer and Bill Maher thing. It reminded me of what happened on The View. I don't know if you guys remember, but when they said something, it was like defamation against Matt Gaetz, and they forced one of the hosts to apologize. Do you guys remember what I'm talking about?
Yeah, you're talking about the Views Sunny Haas.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was so great.
Yeah.
She had to keep a straight face if she had no other choice. I was like, that's right. Yeah, that's right. You better apologize.
For 7 days in a row on The View, we heard, I have to give a legal note now.
It was so good. It was so good. It was so good. I love it. Okay. All right, let's get back to being serious. Where are we at? Go ahead, Jack.
Well, actually, I wanted to pivot to something else. Did you see this? Because I saw in the space that the title is just called Everything, so
yeah,
I'm assuming that means everything.
Everything that's going on. It's just so much is going on, yeah.
Okay, so what I want to do is there was this video that the FBI Richmond Division put out yesterday that sent all sorts of alarm bells into my head because of something that they said though. So can I play that?
Yeah.
Parents and educators, we here at FBI Richmond want to tell you about an alarming trend we're seeing that's affecting our children. Violent online groups are targeting minors, coercing them into committing unspeakable acts against themselves, other children, and even animals. You may have heard of these groups referred to as 764 or Gore groups. These groups hide behind the computer screen, targeting our children through social media, gaming apps, and messaging platforms. They start by building trust, then manipulate their victims into sharing personal information and explicit pictures and videos. They extort and blackmail victims into committing increasingly disturbing acts, often compelling them to victimize other minors. So what can you do? If your child suddenly becomes secretive, withdrawn, or anxious about their devices, it could be a red flag. Watch for signs like mood swings, avoiding conversations about their online life, sudden changes in appearance, or evidence of self-harm. Have open conversations with your child about their online friends and what they're sharing. Set clear boundaries for internet use and do spot checks to see what your children are actually looking at. Trust your instincts. If something doesn't feel right, it's time to act. As a parent myself, I want you to know that this goes far beyond cyberbullying and is a trend we should all be concerned about. We're here to help you protect your children. Together, we can stop exploitation before it's too late. If you believe your child has been the victim of one of these groups,
okay, yeah. So, when I saw this video, you have no idea how many different alarm bells went off in my head. Well, first off, the guy who was in the video, yes, he was one of the guys who was targeting the Christians in churches, like referring to them as recruiting them for white nationalism or something. Blah, blah, blah. So, just put that aside for a second. What he's saying is absolutely true.
You have no right to talk.
I'll tell you the story. This group is someone I've actually known about for years. I was first introduced to this group by this account.
Who does it know?
On X that did all sorts of research on it, and at first I was like, what?
No. I'm saying that.
So, but the more she started talking about it, I was like, what the hell?
Why don't what?
And so now that I'm seeing this here, and I'm just thinking like, holy shit, this is legit now, like really going on. I knew there was some legitimacy to it. I just didn't know to what extent it was real. But now that I see that not only is it just the FBI's Richmond office, but I see Dan Bongino himself is also reposting this saying it's important, and that's just when I see all sorts of alarm bells going off about this. I've talked about this on Spaces, had a lot of conversations, seen all sorts of videos. It's really crazy stuff what these people do. It's like it's really what it is. It's a satanic child cult is really no other way to put it. But they're online groups and they exploit children to try to get them to commit all sorts of disturbing and violent acts.
Crazy.
As they enjoy it.
Crazy. Absolutely crazy.
Yeah. It's I had to bring that up because as soon as I saw this video, just like I said, all of these alarm bells went off in my head. I'm just like, oh my God, 764. Like I know that group. I know those people. Not personally. I know who they are. But is this something that you guys have ever heard of before?
No, I haven't. I
can't say that I have.
No, I haven't heard of it.
I remember from years ago. I didn't know it was an ongoing thing. There was like those Slenderman murders and a few others.
Oh God, yes, that's horrible. Yes.
But I don't.
Oh, I remember that.
I haven't heard about it in a while.
Right. So this was originally tied to a movement a type of movement called accelerationism. So what it is that it's that these people who really, in essence, just want to watch the world burn, to put it simply, they infiltrate all sorts of extremist groups to try to accelerate them to commit all sorts of violent acts. There's a lot of,
that's what Trash talks about, right? Trash Discourse. He talks about the accelerationists, right?
Yeah, that's exactly where it is.
Yeah.
Because I used to do. Yeah, I've done spaces with Trash.
Yeah.
At least I used to, on this and the person who introduced both of us to this topic.
Yeah, the expert. She's an expert in this stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually wanted to see if maybe I could get her in here. I sent her an invite, but I don't know if she's going to answer. But I just thought the fact because once this video came out, she kind of like got vindicated because what was going on was you guys remember.
So is he going to back off quickly? I don't know. Is he going to negotiate tough with these countries? Hopefully. Let's see. Right? But for the first time in a long time, yeah, there's losses. But for the first time in a long time, it's the big wigs taking the loss. It's not necessarily Main Street yet, right? They're losing their paper shirts. So fuck them. Like Prodigal said, fuck them. Yes, it's going to be painful, but fuck it. Let's see where it goes from here. How much worse could it get? Like, that's what people are, oh, it can get a lot worse. Listen, man, it's pretty fucking bad for a lot of people. So let's see where it goes. I like what's happening so far.
Mic check. Can you hear me, Clipto?
Yep, can hear you, buddy. Go ahead.
No, I think Jack touched on exactly what I wanted him to touch on, was the difference between the hedge funds and the retail investors, because Prodigal brought it up. Yeah, it's a really smart play. And if you look at what's going on in the market, we've seen this before. When you move the market from a speculative value to intrinsic values, you're going to get this kind of thing to happen. This is not the first time it's ever happened, and Trump's changing the whole fucking playbook. Like he's rerouting how the government even gets funded. Like that's a big fucking deal. And these businesses right now, they're just fucking trying to say, okay, how are we going to do this? And Wall Street, we all know, that's just fucking Las Vegas for the rich people. That's all that shit is. So they don't know because they don't have a clue. The last time we did a full reset on how we structure taxes, essentially, was in 1903? So there ain't nobody alive that knows what the fuck's going on. So they're just fucking speculating. They're just like, well, let's do this. Let's do that. Let's profit take. There's a whole lot of shit going on, as Prodigal and Jack both mentioned. Like there is a volume of things that these people have no clue what the fuck to do.
So before I go to Paul, Mark, is this the 2025 American Revolution?
No. I think the.
Hold on. We had an entire fucking conversation about Pittsburgh coming back with American industry.
You mean the Industrial Revolution?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Revolutionary War.
No. What happened was I tried to throw Mark like a soft toss and I beamed him in the head.
Yeah. Or.
All right. Well.
Or you throw it the second.
Well. Hold on. Can you tie a war in too then?
Tie a war?
Yeah, like some sort of independence war into whatever analysis you're about to get.
I say this is like,
Canada, Mexico.
What I think will happen with this, and no economist here, but I think there's opportunity here. I don't know how much, essentially what Prodigal was, if I can put a metaphor in his mouth, it would be, you got this big nasty pimple, okay? It's gonna pop. It's inevitable it's gonna pop. But President Trump has grabbed it and popped it for us immediately. And
that's what he thinks of your speech, Prodigal. You're a fucking.
Now I'm thinking, are you telling me President Trump is the pimple popper?
He is popping the pimple.
MD.
And it's gonna hurt. And it's probably one of those deep ones, and maybe it even leaves a scar for some people. But
only from the army.
But there's opportunity here, okay? And the face might look better, the skin can improve, and if you keep it clean, maybe you'll make some money.
And you need witch hazel.
Listen, we all know that a little Botox never hurt anyone, right, Mark?
I don't know about that.
That's for wrinkles. You might be thinking of Accutane.
Yeah. So, give it a little bit. The other thing too is, people for decades now have been so reliant upon the major big companies, the Fortune 500 companies, and your slow and steady 10% growth over the last 30 years. And it's like people took for granted that ultimately it's still gambling. Ultimately, there's still risk, and you have a president who is not bought and paid for, and if he didn't care before, he really doesn't care now about special interest or people's. He wants to do America first, and America first may not always align with every single facet of every person's life, aka maybe your 401k or your IRA or whatever for now. But I think ultimately there's opportunity here. Maybe, you look at the Industrial Revolution or when railroads or, to me, I say if American jobs are coming back, if American interest or industries coming back, then maybe if you have the capital, you say, hey, where can I make some money that isn't per se on my phone trading? Maybe it's in these big former industrial cities like Pittsburgh, steel mills and factories and stuff, and I don't know, I'm penny stocks. Yeah, right. So, anyway, there's got to be opportunity after a forest fire. It's rebuild time. We'll see what happens. I'm optimistic, crypto.
All right, let me go to James, and then I'll go to Paul. James, go, buddy.
Yeah, I kind of talked about this exact thing the other day on my show about how people don't understand that in the early days of the Industrial Revolution, this was one of the reasons why we ended up with the central bank system in the first place, was because it required large investments to tool our country up to deal with, like we just learned about Ford, right? And so now we needed to make ball bearings at, 10 times the speed we could do it prior to then. And so companies needed money and they needed access to this capital. And so this is where that system came from. Now, did it get abused and corrupted? Abso-fucking-lutely. Was it all about the big bankers trying to mortgage our souls? Abso-fucking-lutely. So now we're at this new place where Trump's like, wait a minute, you stupid fucks. Why did we do all of this when we were on the model that works? Like, we proved that we were on the model that works. So, yeah, there's got to be pain here, for sure. But the Industrial Revolution should teach you about how we're going to need to make that same initial investments now in the AI field, right? This is where we're at now. We're at that next wave of, holy shit, AI is going to run the world. You guys mentioned already robotics, right? It's going to run the world. How do we flip this into positive for Americans, not for, the 10 biggest companies on the planet kind of thing? And so what I guess I'm trying to say, there's agreeing with the other guys here in practice, is that we have to go back to that early model that we have to map for and think about it, how it's going to apply today. And I think here's something that's kind of a bombshell to think about. Who was it? Mark just talked about how we've been in this mindset of too big to fail. Right? We keep bailing everybody fucking out. I don't care who it is. The bankers, the fucking mortgage lenders, Ukraine, the car companies. At some point here, Trump's going to be like, yeah, we're not bailing you out anymore.
All right, who said it?
No, I did.
It wasn't me.
Who said it?
Oh, it's fucking me, Crypto. That's who said it. If we're gonna start naming off countries, let's be on.
Yeah, sorry. Gotta mute you. Aaron.
Yeah, let's be. Which one was it again? Israel.
Aaron, you got 60-second timeout.
I wasn't gonna talk for 6 seconds anyway.
No, Aaron, I'm joking. All right. Let me see here. Let me go to Paul and then Aaron, and then I want to get Cliff's take, because I think Cliff is going to blame whatever's happening on Trump. That would be his go-to position, but I could be wrong. And I think AC is going to undertalk somebody in a second. Is that going to happen, AC? Or is your mic just open? Yep, there it is. Okay. Paul, all yours.
Thanks, Crypto. I mean, like Prodigal said, like many others have said, James,
we've been doing it their way for so long that we think there's no other way. And obviously, this is a good thing. We needed to check these people because they've been running us into the ground and basically just running up the credit card without a care in the world. And they're not having any problems with it because they're fat cats and they've got all the money coming in. But everybody else around them is imploding. And, you know, most of your smaller businesses, the reason why they do well is because they treat their employees well and their employees are incentivized. These big businesses don't incentivize their employees like they should, is what I always hear out of everybody that works for these large corporations that are friends with. So, you know, how is this not a good thing to reset it and actually open up? You know, our innovation is constantly being trampled because we're shipping our jobs overseas. And if you don't have the actual actions happening in front of you, people can't innovate. What, do they got to move to Mexico so they can learn how to build a car better? No, we need those industries back so people can be brought along, make good for their families, and innovate here in the United States where it belongs, not overseas. We've been shipping everything overseas for how many decades? It's got to stop.
Yeah, on a total anecdotal comment, I never understood why we got our pharmaceuticals from overseas and especially China. You know, among other things, you know, that is a life support for a lot of people. And if this shit hits the fan and they just stopped, you know, I don't think we have the capacity here to maintain what needs to be done for people with life-saving drugs. But I don't know. That's simply what I've heard.
No, we can't even make antibiotics. You're right. I think over 90% comes from China and India.
So dumb.
Yeah, there's, you know, this is
that's
you can't allow.
That's just inexcusable. I mean, that's, if you're looking at from just a Department of Defense. Yeah, I mean, if you're just looking from a Department of Defense or a national security standpoint, you know, if you're going to take care of your people, not from a war fighting perspective per se, but let's just say shit goes sideways, you have to have these. I mean, it doesn't really matter to us how many rockets we have on standby if everyone's dying every other week because we don't have antibiotics or insulin or whatever people need here. So I've always found that really weird, you know, because my mom had a lot of stuff and she was diabetic, and it was just, you know, it was just the prices were always kind of crazy to me, and then the fact that they were back ordered or they couldn't get it because the supplier was out of the country. It was just very. I mean, again, this is totally anecdotal, but just very strange that such a national security to the people would be outsourced. I just never really understood that. I mean, car parts, you know, are, you know, it's not the same as antibiotics or insulin, right?
No, it is to some extent. Is China less assertive or more assertive? Are they bumping into Philippines Coast Guards? Are they shutting down the Mekong River and trying to dry out Vietnam? Yeah. Are they surrounding and doing military drills against Taiwan? Like, we need shipbuilding, we need steel, we need auto. Like, that is how America won the Great Wars, right? It's manufacturing base. And I'm not saying we're not going to bring everything back, but certain industries need to be incentivized to return. Anybody who says otherwise, they are insane and they're leading you to your death.
Yeah, and something about shipbuilding, again, anecdotal. I watched a documentary, but according to it, it's on Netflix. China's outbuilding us with ships like 10-1 right now. So, you know, whether that's
100 to 1. Okay, and even their commercial vessels are being equipped so they can be military purpose. We can get into a war with China. They can lose their entire fleet. They can rebuild it in a year. It will take us 10 years to rebuild it.
Yeah, just and correct me if I'm wrong here, Prodigal and Mark, because you've been in for a while. This is not a 5 or 10 year thing that the U.S. and our presidents have allowed. I mean, I'm assuming here, and correct me if I'm wrong, it could be a 5-year thing. This is going back to Clinton.
Correct? Well, I mean, HW started China's defense to the WTO, so Clinton has a role. Yeah. HW and his son played a role. I mean, these are the ones who said, don't worry, free trade will liberalize China. No, it seems that we have taken on more, the world has taken on more totalitarian and surveillance state attributes that have been perfected in China than China embracing Western, Republican democratic principles. It just hasn't been. These people have been consistently wrong. Consistently.
Right. Yeah. That's just an unacceptable 25 years on just major points that you would think would be a top priority to a lot of people. But all right, he's had his hand up. Let me go. I'm sorry, Paul. Did you finish, buddy?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't have a lot to say about this because I'm not an economist, but I'll tell you right now, I mean, I'm loving what I'm hearing out of everybody because this is exactly what we needed. We've been complaining about it for how many decades? And now, just like everything else they kicked the can down the road on, he's taking issues on that people have been kicking the can down the road on for 3-4 decades. And this is exactly what we needed. This is the wake-up call America needed.
Yeah, maybe it's a little chemo. Crypto, had some cancer festering, and
right.
we went in and we just weren't ready for it this week.
I can just see the messaging though by because whoever's up next, whether it's going to be Vance or DeSantis or someone else, I can see the messaging right now coming from someone like Newsom. We had such a horrible. Go ahead, Prodigal. Go ahead.
Well, just keep Mark away from the messaging, because if I hear the Trump admin say, well, it's a pimple or it's cancer, this is not the messaging we need to come to the American public.
Yeah, watch it on Monday.
It's a pimple with a pimple.
It's a cancerous pimple.
I have to take care of it.
Oh, no. Hey, right. And then for the pimple, Mark said we use chemo. So, yeah. Mark, man.
It's going to work. It's a little rough, but we're going to be all right.
Dr. Cat
wants to do my PR. Oh, God.
Dr. Cat wants a few words with me, Mark, about over-treating pimples with fucking chemo, okay?
It's like a cancer pimple, It's like, it had to go.
Did you say it's a cancerous pimple?
It's not a tumor.
It's not a tumor.
It is a tumor.
Oh, my God. That's funny. All right. Aaron, what's up, man?
Well, I think it's funny that everybody wants to laugh about this and y'all think this ain't going to hit Main Street. I can tell you right now, this move right now, whether you like it or not, is going to take out probably, half of my competitors because the prices are going to go so sky high in my industry that nobody's going to be able to compete against me. So it's fantastic for my business. However, if y'all don't think this is going to hit Main Street, I don't know what the fuck y'all are talking about.
How long do you think it's going to last?
Now, Prodigal, don't. I let you and I didn't interrupt you. And we don't normally do this, but you and I completely disagree on this. Main Street is going to get hammered by this. If you think the rich didn't plan for what was coming and do things to create shorts in the market and do things to invest in different ways to counteract the tariffs to protect their money sources, you're delusional. The only way this works is if Trump finds another way to infuse the lower and middle class with capital that we have spending. That is it. If he does not do that, he has to go full bore into depression. He has to crash. He has to crash everything along with the tariffs. He has to bring everything and strip all these quantitative easing, all the excess capital that hyperinflated our money, and he has to rip it out of the fucking market and strip everything back down to where it was a long time ago. Otherwise, the prices are not going to come down enough that Main Street, the regular people, like most of the people in here, are going to be able to continue to do with these prices. And I know everybody wants to love Trump for all this, and I'm okay with the crash. But to act like this is all hunky-dory and that this is so easy, we are going to watch for if you think that these big countries are just going to just say, yeah, let's see if America, no, China plays a long game. They know we're going to spend money. We are their main consumers, so we pay more. It doesn't hurt them. They can wait us out. They are not a capitalist society. Other countries will play hardball with us, and that is going to increase prices to the American people, the lower class and the middle class, on every one of our goods and services. All of the crap you buy from Amazon, all the other things. I am not going to get get too much with my business. My business is mostly American made. And you know what's happened for the last 5 years as I tried to sell mostly American made? 6 years? I have been laughed at by my consumers saying, your prices are insane. Why the hell would I pay that price? You know what's going to happen when everybody is now at that price? The consumers are just going to either flat stop fucking buying, or they're going to have to suck it up and pay the prices. And the tariffs aren't going to necessarily get people to American prices. And if all of our stuff goes up with it, then it's going to cost me as a business owner more money on other things that I buy that unfortunately aren't currently made in the U.S. So do I like that we're playing this game? I'm okay with it. I purposely tried to move my business years ago to American made to protect American labor. I hire only Americans. I buy 95% American products. But to pretend like this is a joking, funny fucking matter right now. Y'all are all, oh, I love Trump. Oh, it's funny. It's not funny.
It's
and
gonna
for
be
6
over
months
in
to
3
go,
months.
Prodigal,
In 3
it will not be over fucking in 3 months because the
I
prices.
have already seen Vietnam,
It will
Cambodia,
not.
Israel.
It
back
will not. Because just like when I told people during COVID, I said when COVID hits, you're not going to see the effect for 6 months. You're going to see the effect a year, 2 years down the road because the production is going to slow. The price increases don't instantly hit the general small businesses. It's a growing thing, and they try to fight it, and they try to fight it, and they either fail completely or they end up having to last minute up their prices to make up for lost profits. This is going to hurt the entire country. So if you're willing to accept that, which I am, fine. But do not act like this is just going to go away. It's not. And so you're not being honest with the consumer. Laugh all you want, James. I fucking actually have a goddamn big small business. I actually do have to buy products that involve the global market, and I.
So do I. Calm the fuck down. I can laugh all the fuck I want.
Yeah, it's not a laughing fucking matter. You guys.
I'm laughing because you're like Chicken fucking Little right now, and you're fucking just going crazy.
I'm Chicken Little? I'm Chicken Little because I'm actually being honest. I didn't say the sky is falling. I said I'm prepared for this. But you guys are acting like this isn't going to hurt the average American. It is. So when you act like this, what you're going to do is you're going to make people turn away from the Republicans and Trump long term if it doesn't go fast like you expect. Because what you're doing is you're telling people they're not going to be hurt, and the Democrats are then going to use that and say, see, the Republicans told you Trump's tariffs wouldn't hurt you, but what did it do to you? And they're going to use that because you guys are actually not being honest. And you can already see where the Democrats have done this, because the Democrats right off the bat said, is this what you signed up for? And they're already trying to use that. So when Americans start hurting, they will use that against Trump to try to win the midterms.
Aaron, I'm following you, but I got to tell you, I think that the lower and the middle and the lower middle class, I think they've been hurting so long. I don't think that's
worse.
I don't think they, unless they logged into their whatever retirement account they may
I don't give a fuck about your 401k. I don't care about your 401k. I don't care about that. I'm talking about everyday sales.
He's right. You might not want to hear it, Aaron.
Yeah.
56% of Americans can't afford a $1,000 bill, a medical bill.
I'm aware. I fucking do that every day.
Own no equities. 8% of Americans own 90+% of the
And if
stock
it gets
market.
harder for them for 6 months to a year, probably.
Right now, they're going to benefit more from oil being below $65 than anything else. There is no discretionary spending. All the discretionary spending has been 15 million fucking illegals with their tax dollars.
And the illegals aren't gone fast
Nobody's going to play chicken. Nobody can replace the U.S. consumer in the global market. Nobody can replace the U.S. consumer in 1 year, in 5 years. Trying to
keep telling everybody that it's going to be fine and that they're going to not be hurt by
You're saying nobody's going to settle. They have more to lose than us. People are already settling.